It's Halloween, and LSU and Auburn have seen it all in this series. An earthquake game, the night the barn burned, controversial endings, and unlikely heroes. Will it be tricks or treats for these Tigers today?
Touchdown, Auburn! Touchdown, Tigers!
It's Halloween, and it's also the Home Depot SEC on CBS. From the Plains, Pat Dye Field, Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. It's the Auburn Tigers and the LSU Tigers set to have at it for the 55th time in the series. Always fun in the stands when it's Halloween. No different today, although there'll only be about 18,000 fans here at Auburn. And if you aren't sufficiently scared, we welcome you to the booth. Brad Nessler with Gary Danielson. You know, a group of Tigers could be called a streak. And right now, the fans of these two teams wish these two groups of Tigers would get on a winning streak, because 2 losses right now they weren't planning on, Gary.
No, that's for sure. You know, we talked to Coach Ogeron. He said, frankly, we should be
4-0.
That's right. So there's a little disappointment there. And for Auburn, they got a couple breaks to win a couple games. They took advantage of it. But there's a lot of pressure not to get that 3rd loss for these teams. Not just winning. Losing games creates pressure. And with 2-3 or 3-3, it could be big.
Well, LSU had pressure coming into the season as the defending champions. They had a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Miles Brennan comes in, plays really well, but he's hurt, and we go to quarterback number 2.
Yeah, and I got to make a prediction. I mean, this guy has got a lot of talent for LSU. I don't know when it's going to emerge. We saw a little bit last week. TJ Finley has got the measurables. He's big. He's got a great arm. He can tuck it down and run it a little bit, and he's got a calmness about him. But they also helped him last week, gave him a little running game. Auburn needs to shut that down and see if the freshman can do it on the road.
Auburn a couple weeks ago kind of trying to find their identity. Maybe they did last week, right?
I think they did. You know, early in the year they said we're a perimeter team. We're going to let Bo throw the ball. But Gus really likes to run the ball, and they, I think, found help for their quarterback. Bo Nix, 2nd year, he's getting the feel of the league. But when you have a running back, and this true freshman Bigsby is a running back, that makes everything else go. When you can turn around, hand the ball off, and know you've got a threat, we all do better with that type of guy.
That's for sure. And the Auburn Tigers, who play very well at home, they've won 10 of their last 11 here, and here they come. And we check in with a much more pleasant group of our teammates. Jamie Erdahl.
Brad, Gary, we have reached the unofficial halfway point of this spooky 2020 SEC season. And while it's been comforting to see the X's and O's of the game haven't really changed between the hashes, what makes games like this, the Tiger Bowl, so special are the traditions that envelop the entire game day atmosphere. Things like the flight of the War Eagle. This year would have been the 20th season an Auburn Eagle from the Southeastern Raptor Center would have taken flight. But COVID-19 precautions clipped their wings. It's a sorely missed event for fans pre-kick, but the current Eagles, Aria and Spirit, still make almost daily practice flights during the week to stay in game day performance shape. Now, I had to come up to the spot where the Eagles traditionally take flight from, and from here, Jordan-Hare looks awfully different, but fans still get to enjoy their Eagle moment from the video board before the game. Still feels pretty strange, guys.
Yeah, not quite the same, Jamie.
You know, Ness, everybody says if you're going to make a trip to the SEC, what's one of your favorite places? And I go, you got to go see the Eagle fly, right?
Absolutely. Nice day on the Plains. Perfect for football. 66 degrees, light wind. Auburn won the toss and deferred, so we'll see LSU and TJ Finley first this afternoon. Series goes back a long way. 1908 is the only other time LSU played Auburn, and they won that one in 1908 10-2. We're gonna hope for something better than that today. They have won the last 3 matchups. Home team always plays well, though.
They do. They've won the last 3, LSU has, but Auburn has led in each one of the 3 games.
That's right.
Couldn't hold on.
And as we showed you the tees and the guys talked about in the pregame, some crazy things happen when these two teams get together.
I was checking out one of the costumes there. Gardner Minshew is one of the Halloween costumes down there.
It's a hot item. Trey Palmer, who has taken one the distance this year of 93 yards, is back waiting on Anders Carlson's kickoff. Passing the midway point of the SEC season. Can you believe it? I think Jamie said it last night. Said, guys, after this, we've got 5 SEC games left.
And I also think it's a great story, just the amount of work that has taken place to get even to the halfway point.
Exactly. And as we've seen around other games, even in this conference, but other conferences, things have not gone quite so well. Here we go, though, from Auburn. And LSU will bring out their freshman quarterback to work the offense from the 25-yard line. Here he comes, and he's a big fella. 242, and that's down about 20 from when he came in to Baton Rouge. And the rest of the offense. Now they don't have their left tackle, Dare Rosenthal, suspended, so Cam Wire starts there. And Terrace Marshall, the #1 receiver, already coming in with big numbers, 9 touchdown receptions on the year. We'll see how they guard that backside for the freshman quarterback. Game to start things off for John Emery. Let's check the defense for the Auburn Tigers. They don't, of course, have those great guys up front like they had a year ago that ended up in the NFL. Owen Papo, along with Jacoby McClain, 100 tackles between the two, incomplete, and it's 3rd down and long right away. There's Miles Brennan, made the trip. He actually threw some tosses in warm-up. Yep.
And we all say that, we talked about it earlier when we were talking to the guys back in New York. You don't want to lose your job to injury, but tough sport sometimes at quarterback. Interesting look, a real wide 6-man defensive line here. Pressure from both sides.
LSU has not been good, as you saw on 3rd down, and they aren't there either. 3 and out.
Kevin Steele, defensive coordinator, gave LSU and Joe Burrow a different look last year that gave him problems. You can count on him giving them something a little different, and that was a really wide-looking 6-man front up there. They were linebackers and defensive backs, but you have to account for all 6.
That's Eli Stowe back deep, waiting on the pumps from Zach von Rosenberg. Pressure, but they didn't get to the ball. Stone's going to call for the fair catch. Has to let it bounce. So somebody got in his line of sight, and they'll lose a couple yards out of that, but not too bad. They'll start right at the 25-yard line as well. So 3 and out, and now we bring out the other quarterback. This is the 5th straight year that these two teams have got together, and it's a freshman quarterback starting against a 2nd-year quarterback. Bo, in this case, is the 2nd-year quarterback. And the offense that joins in, they lost their #1 offensive lineman, Brandon Council, so Keandre Jones gets to start there. Seth Williams is the big play guy at the wide receiver spot for the Auburn Tigers. Collision there. Sean Shivers. Hello.
So interesting, when a new running back comes in, Bigsby, and kind of runs angry, it kind of gets catchy.
Sean Shivers says, I want some of that.
Absolutely.
They will rotate those guys throughout the day. Shivers is the elder statesman of the two. Only a junior himself. Gets the call going left. Just a yard shy of the 1st down. Todd Harris brought him down. It'll be 3rd down and short.
I remember Shivers last year in that Alabama game when he had that great run at the end of that game for that touchdown. Remember, he shows you that explosive. These little guys are tough to tackle.
Harris, I think, got a stinger, Gary, on that. He was trying to shake it off, and he heads to the sideline.
He did. You try to come in low, and that guy goes lower.
Tank Bigsby now in the lineup on 3rd down and short. He's going to get the 1st down with forward progress, but he didn't get much.
#4, Tank Bigsby.
Sean Shivers last year in the Iron Bowl. On a little jet sweep. And just took everybody with him.
Yeah, he took off Xavier McKinney's helmet. Remember that play?
Absolutely. Shivers is not little, but he is short. And they weren't short on the first down carry, so they have it at the 35-yard line. First throw for Nix, maybe not. Bo's going to take off with it. Got a big opening and slides his way for 12 and a first down.
Okay, so there's a lot of ways you can help the quarterback in a passing game. Run the ball with the tailback is always nice. The short passes, but also the quarterback runs. A lot of people think Bo does it a little too quickly, but when he's successful, it takes LSU a lot out of their man coverage game.
Here's a pitch to Shivers. He got about 3 out of that somehow.
You know, I don't think anyone's ever going to talk about how tall a running back is again.
After Edwards-Helaire.
Why
I said he's short. That's all I said.
Who cares, right?
Here's the LSU defense. There's the front. The linebacking core, and then the All-American Derek Stingley Jr. in the back end. Bigsby back in there on second down and 7. Play action. Nix wanted to go deep. And does go deep, even scrambling, and he throws it out of bounds.
Well, nice coverage that time by LSU. Tried to go deep to Schwartz. Free safety was there. Corner was there in man coverage. Could not get the big bomb on the play. Schwartz down here is going to try to go long. Right on the bottom of the screen. Stingley's going stride for stride.
Yeah, he was in his hip pocket the whole way. So brings up third down at 7. Auburn 47% on their third down conversions. Last week they were great in a win over Ole Miss. From the 49, empty backfield and a quarterback draw for Nix. Going to be wrapped up. He's a yard or a yard and a half shy. Ojulari brought him down.
I wonder if B.J. Ojulari was spying on the play. Even though it was a 4-man line, he peels off very quickly on the play. See, he's coming in, and he almost maybe with the stunt or whatever, but he was looking for the quarterback draw.
Well, even though 17,000 here, that's a pretty loud boo, as the Auburn fans wanted Auburn to go for it on 4th and short. Instead, they bring in Aiden Marshall to punt. That is Derek Stingley back deep. And every time you see a great player back as a return man, you start thinking about Jalen Waddle from last week, right? And this one down at the 1-yard line. Perfect punt.
Everything perfect about it.
Roger McCreary got down there on the special teams and stayed out of the end zone. Here's a great look right behind him from Pylon Cam. Can't do it any better than that.
Today, pros have to
On CBS.
No score early here at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. Top-ranked Clemson survived Boston College today, and they had to do it without their starting quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, big story this week, testing positive for COVID. DJ Uiagalelei, a big game for him in his first start, and so they survive an upset bid. Here we're just 4 minutes into the game, and this is not where the freshman quarterback wanted to get his second possession.
He missed a couple passes in his first drive, so I think they'll be very careful with him down here. If I throw the ball, I'd throw deep.
We got a full house backfield. Emery, the tailback, will get the carry. Oh man, he might have gotten one. That's it. Ends up in the end zone. Forward progress gives him about a yard. Christian Tuck was the first guy to hit him.
So, you know, when you're a second-year quarterback as Bo Nix, and we've seen a little bit of this, Bo giving his opinions to the offensive coordinator, letting even his teammates know things he likes, he doesn't like, or already unhappy with.
Second down, almost 9. Finley, quick throw. Got to put a fullback Carter, and Carter might have a first down. Going to be close.
Hit the ball out of the end zone. I was thinking they'd go deep. They come the other way. They'll throw a little pop pass to the Carter. Runs forward, plows through, and what was it? Yep, good enough.
Just good enough. First down. A little more room to work now. Carter, a senior out of Valdosta, Georgia, picks up the first down from the 12. Finley, little pitch to Emery. Was wrapped up momentarily, but reverses field, and he made something out of it.
Sure did. Great defense by the Auburn defense. Opportunity to make a tackle for a loss.
Smoke Monday, the guy that got in there
Sure
quickly.
did. Right off the edge. When you use those bunch formations like that, you put the safeties in position. You really can't read it. They're almost in linebacker spots, and a free safety blitz almost blows up that play.
3 wideouts all to the near side here on 2nd down and 5. Play fake, quick slant, throws complete to Terrace Marshall.
And he got smoked.
He did. That happens to a lot of guys when number 21 hits you.
But that one was on target. If you're going to throw the slants, Auburn says, listen, you're going to complete some of those, but you better throw them accurately because we're going to hit.
3rd and a yard, and they pick up the yard. Emery, nice tough run. Owen Papo made the tackle. Emery coming off a good game, really. 88 yards on 18 carries in the win over South Carolina. As Miles Brennan looks on, but they don't have a Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but they got a couple of guys they can kind of rotate.
There's many NFL teams that don't have a Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He plays for Kansas City.
We'll see Ty Davis-Price a lot as well. He's coming off a career high game last week. Finley, play fake, down the middle, throws a dart down to the 42-yard line of Marshall, and a first down LSU.
Well, Terrace Marshall has gotten so good at running his routes. You know, he was a score touchdowns in the red zone guy, but now he's the featured guy. He's very calm in his routes. He's got a lot of speed, but he knows how to run to his routes under control now. He doesn't overrun those seams.
First down, back to the ground game. Emery, maybe to the 40. Jacoby McClain, the leading tackler for Auburn, makes the stop. So Finley settling in a little bit. Remember, they had to start down inside their own 2-yard line.
And I always say this, you know, if you can throw, you can throw. You can shoot basketball, you can shoot. This guy can just throw. It's not like you're going to forget how to do it. Got a perfect delivery.
Comes a blitz, and there he goes with a slide, and his helmet comes off.
Get 15 more.
And that might be the end of the day.
Yes, it could be.
For Jacoby McClain, who I just said was a leading tackler.
Now, here's a 240-pound man coming at you, but, you know, as Auburn fans remember, they used to have a guy like that in Cam Newton.
Right. Well, I think it was the shoulder. Now that I look at it the second time, it's just that his helmet looks like it pops off.
Yeah, I don't think he...
Personal foul, target, defense number 9. The previous play is under further review.
I still wish there was something in, you know, just
an in-betweener?
Just a 15 and a yellow card, you know, just something. I don't think he should be thrown out of the game for this. I think he should get 15 yards.
Yeah, maybe a forearm shiver. I don't know. It's hard to see from that angle. Gene Steratore is our rules official. And Gene, what do you think?
You know what, Brad? Remember now, once the quarterback starts to slide, the ball is actually dead before he makes contact with the ground. So we would have a dead ball targeting, if that makes sense to you in this play. I don't think that there's contact with the helmet or enough severe contact to the head or neck area to rise to the level of an ejectable offense.
Here's a call.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Number 9 can remain in the game.
Once you looked at it closer, it looked like shoulder pad to shoulder pad, and then the lid popped off, and his helmet came off, which made it look a little bit worse, in my opinion.
But obviously they're picking up the flag, too. So the call was just targeting, not unnecessary roughness or anything like that. See, I would have agreed with the 15-yard unnecessary roughness, but not with the targeting.
Well, with losing his helmet, Max Johnson's going to have to come back in, or come in, I should say, at quarterback. Another freshman, Brad Johnson's son. So at least for one play, Max Johnson, 6'5", freshman.
I thought if the other team knocked the helmet off, you were allowed to stay in the game. I wonder if he's stung a little bit. I wonder if he's just a little dizzy.
And I wonder if Johnson will just take off running, because he's known to be a good running quarterback. He's a left-hander if he does throw.
Yeah, I think a running call is a good call yourself. Whoa.
Oh, he's going to go deep. How about this? Broken out,
Nice
incomplete.
coverage. Nice coverage.
Ray Jenkins, the intended receiver.
Yeah, I think it was Jalen Simpson, number 36. You're going to play for Kevin Steele in the secondary. You're going to have to learn to play man-to-man coverage. They go with the high fade, good coverage, good no call.
So Von Rosenberg will come in to punt on 4th down. Stove waiting. Camp Center just lets it go. Is it going to make the end zone? It will.
By a yard and a half, it could have flipped the field on that drive.
Von Rosenberg says, gee, last time got it down there. This time it'll come out to the 20. No score. Midway, first quarter at Auburn.
A pandemic during a...
Be a sub above.
Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS features the undefeated Steelers putting their perfect record on the line against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Jim, Tony, and Tracy will have that one for you. You see the other action, including the Chargers and the Broncos late. It all starts with JB and the guys with the NFL today at noon Eastern on CBS. My spider senses are tingling, and so is TJ Finley right now. It hasn't had the greatest start so far. Bo Nix and company from the 20. Here's an end around to Stove. Eli Stove, nice run, got about 8. Let's check in with Jamie.
Well, he did linger on the field for quite some time during that play review, so he wanted to stay in. Didn't look shaken up at all, and he actually just greeted every single receiver. I don't want to give up his game plan, but let's just say they better keep their eyes and their hands open when he gets back on the field. He was pretty fired up to get back on offense.
All right, thanks, Jamie. You see Miles Brennan there with them both with their headsets on, sharing information. This one's going nowhere as Bigsby brought down by Allier.
And a tackle for a loss, and Allier is good at that.
Saw the great feature on the pregame with Zook and the guys about Allier and the strange journey he had just to get to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and the tackle that time, Ham was kind of setting up outside, and Gage just shot the gap and made the tackle for the loss.
3rd down at 4. Throws on the run and throws a strike to Stove for the 1st down.
And that's, again, good job by Chad Morris. He knows that his offensive line is going to struggle with the pass rush from LSU. Maybe the best in the SEC. So what does he do? Brings his quarterback out of the pocket. They've given a little quarterback draw. They've thrown a swing pass. Now they roll out to keep the pressure off that offensive line.
J.J. Pegues is in there at the H-back spot. And they're going to throw it to him on the run. And good gain. This guy's something different, isn't he?
I think he's a weapon. Just a true freshman. Number 89. Keep your eye on him. When he comes in at H-back, he does a little bit of everything. And we mean everything, right? Keep your eye on him. Here's a sugar huddle. Gus made this, you know, from watching this for a long time. Quick snap out of it, turn around and snap it.
Only 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. There's the quick turn. Shivers behind Nix. Fakes it to him. Ball wants to go deep and will. Going long, double coverage. Stingley had a better play on the ball than
Nix's pass intended for number 18.
Matthews did, incomplete.
So all year I've been talking about how safeties have to do their job. Watch Todd Harris this time. He's got the middle of the field. He needs to stay in the middle of the field, and he does, and that makes the throw a little bit long and not being able to be completed.
Seth Williams, the intended receiver. Didn't have that good a play on it, but they gave it a shot deep. 3rd down and 5. Nix looks left the whole way and goes that way and throws a strike to the 49-yard line to Anthony Schwartz.
Well, Mika Bakersfield, number 23, has inside technique on this play, but he's got a tough matchup. A linebacker against one of the fastest people in college football. Another good call. They got the matchup they wanted. Get the ball in and out of Bo's hands quickly to negate that pass rush from LSU.
Fans would be saying finally a throw down the field a little bit to Schwartz. Throw a lot of screen stuff to him. And now here he comes on the end around. As Gary said, one of the fastest guys in football, but he only got about a yard before he got belted out of bounds by Ricks.
And I like the way they're spreading the field, making this LSU defense. You know, we saw them on a bad day.
Yeah, we did. 623 yards of passing that day.
On a bad day. Couldn't hardly believe it. And then Missouri did something very similar to him. So if you're watching the game tape, Missouri was wide open, Mississippi State wide open. You just can't run it between the tackles. You got to keep them running sideline to sideline.
Right at midfield, 2nd down and 9. Bixby trying to weave his way through, and he rolls for about 4. It'll still be 3rd down. Jabril Cox in on the stop. Gus Malzahn in his 8th year. Here is the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. A more relaxed, it seemed, when we talked to him, Gus Malzahn, as he doesn't call the plays anymore.
It was like he was happy to see us, you know,
well,
because usually he's in meetings.
Until I asked one question that didn't go well.
You got the stink eye, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I really. We'll explain that as we go. 3rd down and 5. Nix scrambles, buys time, and throws high and completes. Intended for Capers, and it's 4th down.
So Bo Pelini that time only a 3-man rush, kind of peeled away, made the quarterback Bo Nix look for and find somebody in the open seams, couldn't do it, and bailed on the play.
Eric Stingley will drop back as the punt return man.
A little bit of a field position game so far.
Yep.
Remember last time they had it on LSU on the 1-yard line? Pretty productive drive, driving it down there.
Aiden Marshall, the guy that pinned him last time. High, lazy kick. Bounces, and this one makes the end zone. So 3 minutes, 7 seconds remaining 1st quarter. Tigers battling back and forth. Still no score.
Weeks on CBS.
Stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free and always-on sports news network for highlights, breaking news, and expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today as you look in at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And you also take a look at the Dr. Pepper SEC Conference standings. Here's how it looks in the West. Alabama perfect so far and ranked 2nd in the country. And A&M, only 1 loss was to Alabama, and then Auburn and LSU, as we said, with 2 losses each, and hoping to stay in that upper echelon as we hit the 2nd half of the SEC season. Ty Davis-Price into the LSU backfield for the first time as TJ Finley starts things off from the 20-yard line. Play action. Finley loads and rips it down the middle, complete. What a throw.
Yep.
And that's to Trey Palmer.
You can be an effortless thrower, and you notice it right away. You watch a guy who can just flick the ball. He can go 35 yards down the field without really taking a step into it. Just a nice, quick release. Ball never drops. Beautiful.
He fired that one 24 yards right on the money for the 1st down. Davis-Price trying to follow his blockers and does a pretty good job of it out across the 48-yard line. Cam Riley in on the tackle.
So Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator for Auburn, you know, they've lost the 3 straight games. But you can't say the defense hasn't done their job. I mean, LSU scored 27, 22, and 23. And for 2 of those years, they had Joe Burrow at quarterback.
And they held him to 23, which was by far the lowest total offensively. There's a jailbreak. That one's tipped.
Tried to get it, but inside he had a throwing lane taken away from him early in this play.
I think Johnson got a hand on that.
Yes, he did. He tipped it. He sure did.
A little bit of a dangerous throw. Now it's 3rd down and 6.
I kind of felt that TJ Finley kind of got used to the game on that last drive. You know, hit a couple passes, got hit pretty hard. Seems like he's more comfortable in the football game right now.
So far, what he's done the best is throw it down the middle. 3rd down and 6. And that's down the middle, and it's a 1st down to the big tight end, the freshman Gilbert.
Yeah, what a weapon. He had a big game against Missouri, 84 yards in that game in the first half. But watch how he adjusts to the football. Big man adjusting, slows down, catches it, and then understands to accelerate right away. Big, strong athlete.
He was the Gatorade Player of the Year at any position. It's never happened in the tight end spot before. Out of Marietta, Georgia. So first down at the 42 of Auburn.
Come after him.
They sure are. They're loading for it. What a nice play fake, but look out from behind. I don't know if anybody knew he still had the ball, but it didn't matter because he went down in a heap.
Yeah, the mistake, and it's a young mistake, but Kevin Steele in Auburn brings a blitz. When you know that, you know you don't have much time. You're overloaded. You don't have a lot of help. If it's not there, throw it away. You're not going to outrun these guys.
Not Derek Hall, anyway, who got the sack. Second and 14. Backed up to the 46 here in the final minute of the first quarter. Here's a quarterback draw all the way. Not much of a gain. Maybe 3. Lakevius Walker brought him down.
And this Auburn defensive line that has not been usually one of the weapons that we're used to seeing.
Like Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson and those dudes, yeah.
They haven't able to produce those sacks like we remember in past years.
Those two guys are playing on Sundays, of course. Third down and 11. 4 wide out group. Quick throw, wide receiver screen. Trying to get a block out there is Marshall. And got a good gain, and the ball came loose at the very end. But I think he was down.
Now it's right in between here. Is this go for it on 4th down, or is it try a long field goal yardage here?
They got plenty of time to talk about it.
They do.
That part, because the quarter has come to a close. Scoreless first quarter in the Battle of Tigers here at Auburn. End of 1, no score. We'll return to Auburn after this message in a word from your local station. Set to start the second quarter here at Auburn. Take you back to that last play of the first quarter on the completion of Marshall, and you see his rear end hit first, then the elbow, then the ball came out. So LSU starts the second quarter with a field goal attempt from Cade York. His career long is 53. That was against Vanderbilt, and this is going to be 54. Gary said going to the break, do you go for it? Do you go for the long field goal? I was cheering for Cade York.
Well, as you said, they had time to think about it.
The only one that he has missed so far this year was blocked. And this is not going to do it. Wide right.
Plenty of leg, though.
Yep.
Remember that for later. We've seen important field goals in this game before.
Oh, no kidding. Just wide right. Wouldn't quite turn for him. And we welcome you back to the booth. Brad and Gary, Jamie down on the field. No score so far. Both teams trying to find their way right now.
Yes, very clean game. No penalties in the first quarter. Not a lot of big plays. Both teams seem to be comfortable bringing their quarterback along slowly. Have not been able to run the ball as much as they wanted to.
Here's a quick throw. And now we got a wide open Eli Stove down the sideline. Stove all the way to the 26-yard line. First big play of the game.
Well, the trademarks of this Gus Malzahn offense is still here. Probably one of the first guys in college football ever to take advantage of the jet sweeps and make you stop it.
Now they go to the ground game, and finally Tank gets ahead of steam and gets it inside the 20. Jacoby Stevens brought him down. That gain from Nix was a 38-yard pass play to Eli Stove. And they set up in a hurry at the 19. Second down and 3. Play fake, loft to the corner. Got it, complete, and the ball comes out. Is it going to be complete? There Derek Stingley Jr.'s got the ball in his hand.
Seth goes back to try to get it from Stingley afterwards. How funny is that? Great matchup here,
yeah,
right?
It's a matchup we've been looking for.
Knocks it out, and then Stingley tries to get back in bounds and grab it.
It's 1st and goal at the 1.
Let's see if they stop the game here to look at this.
I thought they would have, and they will.
They will. That's a good job by the replay officials here. They wait as long as they can. They don't want to, stop the game for unnecessary reasons.
The previous play is under further review.
It was a weird-looking ending of the play at the 1-yard line. Here's another look from a different angle.
Back shoulder throw is perfect. You cannot stop that play, especially with the side of Seth Williams. The ball pops loose before he goes out of bounds, but I think the ball hit the line.
I do too. Right there, he's got it. He makes a football move, and here it comes. His feet are still in bounds.
I wonder if this could be a touchback. Yes. This could be a touchback. And it was funny, if you go a little farther, Seth gets up and tries to take it away from Stingley after the play.
A look from our AT&T 5G pylon cam. This one will be coming right at you, and Gene Steratore is going to come in to help us. I hope, Gene.
Yes, there's 3 elements to this one, and I just got 2 of them confirmed on our last really good replay. The first was Williams' foot. Was it out of bounds or not at the 2-yard line? We got a great look from a low angle that showed that in. And then, does he have possession to finish this catch and make a football move? I believe he does that as well. So that leaves us with the third option, which is a forward fumble in the end zone. The ball bounces on the out of bounds line in the end zone. So that would be a touchback by rule, and the ball would go back to LSU.
Jerry and I are agreeing with you right now.
And this is going to teach you. And just for a football player, Stingley does a great job of staying with the play. Okay, he gets beat. You're going to get beat. Perfect throw, big receiver, but he continues to fight on the play. He goes with the football, he rips, doesn't matter if he's out of bounds. Williams is not, and then the ball pops free. What a play.
We're going to see if our replay official, Gerald Hodges, and our referee, who's still under the mask and taking a look at it, Alex Moore, agree with the 3 of us.
So it would be 3 against 2 if they disagree.
It would be, yeah.
we would win the argument here. And
let's bring Gene back in.
I think you make another great point too, Gary, and Stingley does a good job of it. Sometimes we rule these plays down or finished very quickly. Finish the play if you're a player, right? Go pick the football up just in case.
After review, the receiver possessed the ball, fumbled it into and out of the end zone, resulting in a touchback. First and 10, LSU.
The 3 Stooges got one right. That's great. That's what we dressed as for Halloween.
The 3 Stooges. And just a great lesson. I mean, everybody does their job. Their offensive line blocks well. Bo Nix throws a perfect pass. The competitive instincts of all these guys right in front of him right there to finish off a play.
An All-American play by number 24. We'll be right back.
This is
on CBS.
Take you back to the Auburn, South Carolina game. Bo Nix and Seth Williams not quite on the same page. Had a little conversation on the sideline, and that was the bad part. And then 2 competitive guys go, yep, we got it right that time.
Or the first part was the good part that led to the next good part.
And here was moments ago. Just discussion going on.
And anybody that's played high-level competitive sports knows about this. You got 2 guys, one wants the ball all the time. Bo Nix would like to give it to him all the time. He's a good player. So you talk it out. You fight it out as teammates, and then you hug each other and go on to the next play.
And that was Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator, in between the 2. So LSU on a nice play by Derek Stingley Jr. Their offense goes back to work from the 20-yard line. Play action. Finley sidesteps the rush, throws a strike again, complete to Tracy McMath.
Pretty soon, Steve Ensminger is going to say, well, how many more do we want to hide this guy? We're going to run it. We're not running it effectively. If we can block for him, he's going to hit the receivers.
He did a nice job in the pocket to get away from the first wave of the rush and then drilled it down the middle, which again has been his sweet spot so far as throwing the football. Davis Price, a yard. That's about it. So we get a Papa John's update in New York with our man Adam Zucker. Zuck.
Hey, Ness, crazy day so far in the ACC. #1 Clemson surviving against Boston College. Now #4 Notre Dame, their next opponent against Georgia Tech. Ball's on the turf. Zamari Walton going to go all the way the other way, and it is a 7-7 game in the second quarter. Back to you, Ness.
All right, 7-7 there. No score here. Still looking for some points. P.J. Finley. This one too high, intercepted. Picked off and down the sideline. Could be a pick six for Pritchett. Touchdown.
Pritchett got a gift, a high throw. He's just standing out here. Man coming out to him. He's standing there in zone, right to him, and he makes the poor throw count for Auburn.
And returns it 52 yards and got past the quarterback. As he is going to get pushed by Finley in the knee and the ball in the end zone for a 52-yard touchdown.
I thought he stepped on the line with his right foot. That is he right? His left foot, was it right? His right foot right on the line there. I thought he stepped out.
And they're going to look at it.
Yep, he did. I think he did step out.
Gene Steratore, if he's got complete white shoes instead of a stripe on the side, I don't know if you see that.
I think he's out of bounds too, so we only needed 2 stooges out of this one, Brad. So 2 of us saw this one really quick.
Right
and,
there.
I think he's out at the 5-yard line.
Well, you've got plenty of stooges around here, that's for sure.
Well, at any rate, it's a nice play, and it's going to be 1st and goal Auburn, we think.
It wasn't a mental mistake by the quarterback, but when you throw them high, you know, they sail, and Pritchard standing there in zone. Usually get man-to-man, it doesn't hurt you, but zone it does.
And we kept saying so far today, down the middle, he's been really accurate.
That's a good point. Been mentioning that. He comes to the outside with his first throw, and he misses.
Here's a call.
After review, the ball carrier stepped out of bounds with the ball at the 4.5-yard line. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Thank you.
So Nehemiah Pritchett gets the interception, but not the touchdown. And T.J. Finley will have to try to shake it off on the LSU sideline. Meanwhile, it's a gift now for the Auburn offense. Can they put it in the end zone? Red zone woes this year. Touchdowns have been hard to come by. Let's see if Bo Nix and company can come up with one.
Interesting, going into this game, Auburn and LSU were tied in the SEC for the least number of turnovers at 4. LSU's at 5.
That's Tank Bigsby behind Bo Nix.
Would have to say that TJ's hustle there, maybe those dropping of 20 pounds forced him out of bounds.
He wouldn't have gotten there before.
No, not at 265. He's not going to get there.
Matthews up top. That's Schwartz in motion. The give is to Bigsby, and Tank is down at the 1-yard line.
Love how he falls forward. Linebacker's coming at him. He's cutting east-west, and all of a sudden he puts that foot in the ground and goes forward.
Got a flag down.
Illegal formation. More than 4 players in the offensive backfield. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Too many guys in the backfield.
I didn't see it. I thought they had just 4. I'm not so sure about that. I don't see the 5th guy. I don't think Gus does either. No, I did not see that.
Well, that backs him up outside the 9 now, where it's 1st and goal. Penalty yards a game. Auburn 2nd worst. I still don't see it.
No, I don't either.
Stove in motion. And he gets the little short toss. Eli Stove, touchdown Auburn. end zone off the turnover.
Xavier Capers, number 80, is the guy that makes this play go. Watch him out here. Stay with his block the whole time. Easy little throw. Stays, stock block, just enough to get Stowe into the end zone.
A one-play drive honors Carlson's extra point is up and good. And we have snapped our scoreless drought here in the second quarter. Eli Stowe actually playing for the 5th time against LSU. And he's in the end zone to give the Tigers a lead. Tomorrow on CBS, 60 Minutes visits 2 states that will be key to this year's election, plus the inside story behind America's first COVID outbreak tomorrow on CBS. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, our CBS crew as you look in. Pat Dye Field, Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, where the Auburn Tigers have the 7-0 lead on a one-play drive following the interception by Nehemiah Pritchett. And Eli Stowe with the touchdown reception. And I want to clarify, 5th time he's played against LSU, because 2 years ago he played early in the season and then had a medical red shirt. So he's had 5 cracks at the guys in the gold and purple.
And because of this year's a COVID year, he could have a 6 if he wants one.
I knew you were going to go there.
It's my favorite stat of the year.
You love that, don't you?
I do.
Quarterback comparison so far, this guy coming off a almost pick 6. 7 out of 11 for 80 in that interception.
Yeah, and you know what? Auburn, which is 12th ranked in the SEC in a rush defense, having, just not able to stop. Ole Miss ran against Auburn last week for 150 yards plus, and in the first half, only 25 yards rushing. So no help for the quarterback.
Chris Curry in the backfield with TJ Finley. Let's see what effect that interception has on the freshman. From the 25. No effect there. Chris Curry dropped it.
Number 18, Chris Curry, incomplete. Second down.
So how do you get your quarterback ready again after you throw a pick? Give him an easy throw and a no completion.
No, Chris Curry took his eye off it to see who was going to try to tackle him and forgot to take the ball along. There's the first 3 possessions. Not what you're looking for on the road. Here's Curry trying to take it wide. Nice run. Got about 8 and got blasted by Zacoby McClain, leading tackler coming into this game for the Auburn Tigers.
Well, if it's not number 9, it's number 0.
Yeah.
So the 2 leading tacklers on the team, and they go sideline to sideline. That front protects them, and they make tackles.
Going hurry up here. Curry's going to be short, I think. Kind of rolled off the last would-be tackler, which was McClain again. And he is shy by about a half a yard.
Yeah, it's a 35-yard line. What do? Do you go fast here and try to pick up this first down? You got a 240-pound quarterback.
And that's who they use. And he gets pushed from behind, and he's got the first down. Chris Curry might have said, I dropped that ball earlier. I'm going to shove you in the back here for the first down.
Not what I had in mind to make it up, but it worked.
So that moves the chains.
So last year in this game, as LSU went fast for that one, they used that a lot last year in this football game, but they had Joe Burrow, a veteran.
Now back in June, legendary Auburn coach Pat Dye passed away at the age of 80. He made his mark as a player at the University of Georgia, came to Auburn as head coach, and was very successful. His response when they said, what are you going to do to beat Alabama? How long will it take? He said, 60 minutes, plus his lasting legacy, the role of helping turn the Iron Bowl into a home-and-home series. Pat Dye.
Colbert's new the night before the election.
WantMyRam.com.
So as we bring you back, Auburn called timeout before that last quarterback sneak. So they didn't get the first down because Auburn took a timeout. So it's 4th down and inches.
Now they're going to try to draw him off.
Now they come up under center. Will they do the same thing? And maybe they did.
They draw him off.
Flags down. Like maybe Truesdell fell into the neutral zone. Coach Orgeron is happy with the turnout of events there.
And you don't know if they were going to snap
Outside
it or not.
defense, number 94 with contact. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
You know, I got to say, good coaching. So that's something you take time in during the week. In this type of situation, you go, all right, in this situation, we're going to go from shotgun, a little bit of motion, and try to draw them off, and they did.
Shanahan at center gets bulldozed, but he'll take that and get the first down.
5 yards and a first down.
Finley scanning the field, will go short, complete to Jenkins, and Jenkins with a yard after catch of about 13 and a pickup of another first down.
Again, really good decision making. Coverage by Auburn was very good. This ball wanted to go deep. This was a home run throw. Auburn in great coverage. He drops it off to his outlet receiver.
So LSU back in Auburn territory at the 48-yard line. Finley, pressure from behind, goes down the middle of Marshall. Complete short gain as McClain made the hit.
Nice quick release as Marshall limps off there. Keep an eye on that. Boom, real quick. He's got a really fast release.
Pick up a 4, second down and 6.
You know, usually those big quarterbacks like that wind up. He does not.
3 wide receivers up to the top as they all look to the sideline, including the quarterback. Now Curry switches sides. Blitz coming off the corner. Curry hit in the backfield and drilled.
Again, good job by this Auburn defense. They knew to get to the freshman quarterback, they were going to have to stop the run. LSU ran the ball at will against South Carolina, but in this game, they're able to stop the run at least early in the game.
Newkirk made the first contact, and then McClain helped him clean up. And it brings up third down and long.
So last week against South Carolina, LSU was 8 for 10 on third down. That was a big part of the game. In the loss to Missouri, they were 0 for 10. So far here, they're 2 for 6. So this Auburn defense on third down is doing the job.
Terrace Marshall is back out there. 3rd and 7. Pressure, throw is a little high, and nice job defensively.
Those bunch formations, you have to know how to pass those guys out. You got to understand they're going to be crisscrossing. The releases are going to change. Watch the 3 Auburn receivers. They kind of split up, you know, boom, they crisscross, and Auburn sorts it out and makes the play. Beautiful defense.
It's Pritchett who made the play again. He had the interception earlier. No long. It's a punting situation for Von Rosenberg. Eli Stove is the deep man standing at the 10-yard line for Auburn. Bouncing inside the 5. Jump ball in there.
So the mistake by LSU is they should have caught it in the air. They had an opportunity. In the NFL, you can jump from the field of play and bat it back. In college ball, it's the plane of the goal line. If it crosses in midair, it's a touchback.
Which it is, and we'll be right back.
When there's work.
And now it's time to do Project Smarter, presented by the Home Depot.
So sometimes to be smart, you just don't be dumb. And dumb means if you're going against the #1 ranked tackling sacks in the SEC, don't hold on to the ball. Get rid of it quickly. Quick release, quick passes. To be smart, just don't be dumb.
Well said. Back to the live action. Neil Farrell make the stop on Bigsby. Bigsby hasn't gotten going yet for Auburn. Coming off 3 straight 100-plus yard games. Got to start feeding him. Here he comes. And there he goes for a first down across the 30 to the 31.
Well, what you got to do when you got a guy that breaks a lot of tackles is you just don't throw at him. Wrap him up. You got to tackle him, bring your arms, and hold on. And that's exactly what LSU did on that play.
By Gus Malzahn's theory, he has broken more tackles than anybody else in the country so far this year. He gets a breather. Shivers comes back in. Makes a little play fake going to flip it out to Stove. He's been his favorite guy so far. And Eli to the 40, about a yard shy of the first down. Micah Baskersville, which is a great Halloween name, made the stop.
So Stingley was matched up against Seth Williams. Great matchup down here. Going out of one-on-one the whole way. Blanketed. They wanted to go deep down the middle. Man-to-man coverage, and Stingley takes it away.
Here's where you can do some things. Second down in the yard. The thing will be Bigsby breaking one tackle and losing about 5. And it's Stingley in the open field stop. Not only can he cover, he can hit you.
But the beginning of your call was right. It was bounced outside by that defensive line. They don't have to make the tackle, but it was a wall inside. Nowhere to go. And as you said, Stingley cleans it up.
So it looked like an easy first down coming. Now they facing third down and 6.
Here's when that pass rush for LSU could be most dangerous.
There they come. Nix fires way high.
Yep. Seth Williams has a big radius for those catches.
Not that big.
LeBron would have had trouble catching that one.
That baby sailed on him.
You could almost feel the clock in Bo Nix's heads here saying, I got to get rid of it. I got to get rid of it. I got to help my offensive line. Remember, he's got an offensive line.
Back around the 25. And this one's going to bounce out of bounds around the 23 or so. With 6:45 remaining in the half. Auburn Tigers leading the LSU Tigers by a touchdown.
We made USA Gator for more.
Adam Zucker in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. BJ, Rick, and I get you caught up on all of today's action, including a trick by number 6 Oklahoma State. They make the Longhorns pick each other. Spencer Sanders to Landon Wolf. Go with the team in black and orange on Halloween, up 14-7. Yes?
Oh, I bet BJ's just loving that replay, right? Let's check in with Jamie.
LSU freshman quarterback TJ Finley graduated from high school just last December. Brad, he waited a mere 12 hours before he joined the LSU football practice the very next day. But he arrived with his parents and with a unique request for Ed Ogeron that he not have a roommate. Not because he's not a teammate guy, but because he didn't want any distractions. Focus on his studies, focus on football. I asked Steve Emsinger about what we're seeing in terms of what Finley's capabilities are. He said, I am confident that he has a full understanding of the playbook. We kept him safe last week, but we want to continue to see him grow within this offense.
Jamie asked Coach Ogeron, says, how many people get that request of having your own room? And Coach O said, not many.
So I understand you had to pay the difference, right?
That's right. The parents had to pay the difference instead of having a roommate. And only about a yard gain for John Emery. Let's test your knowledge right now at the 6.5-minute mark of the second quarter as we give you today's trivia question, which is, who's the youngest player to start at quarterback for LSU since World War II? This guy's on the list, but he's not the youngest, just to give you a hint. Second down and 10. Slants complete near the 30. Not a big gain for Racey McMahon.
Really have to give it to this Auburn defense. They're making everything happen in front of them. Yeah. They're stopping the running game. They're winning the field position game. The average field position for LSU in this game has been the 19-yard line. LSU staying in this game, obviously, because they're playing good defense as well. But so far, this Auburn defense has stepped up.
5 possessions and nothing to show for it, except a missed field goal and an interception that was almost a pick 6. They're down at 6. Trouble from behind. The ball is out. And Auburn scoops it. And they're still going with it. This is going to be a touchdown for Christian Tutt. Christian Tutt, the ball was on the ground for seemingly a half an hour before somebody found the handle, and he did.
When I saw this, I thought that TJ Finley tried to do too much. See how he lifts up the ball, trying to get away from the rush? He wants to throw even though he's in the grasp, and that's when it popped loose. You know, those are things, I guess, you know, without experience that you can do in high school when those 180-pound defensive linemen are tackling you, but not these guys.
Well, we almost had a pick six. Now we have a fumble recovery and a 20-yard touchdown return by Christian Tutt.
And the LSU defense says we're basically pitching a shutout, and it's 14-0 here.
Anders Carlson indeed makes it 14-0. Auburn. Well, Gary had just talked about Kevin Steele's defense, and boy, do they come up with a big play. First, the rush that engulfed the freshman quarterback, and then Christian Tutt says, I know where the end zone is, and I'm heading that way. 14-0 Auburn.
This is the new iPhone.
Yes.
So a couple of one-play drives, if you will. Actually, that wasn't even a drive. It was a scoop and score. And Auburn has 14 points off one offensive play, which was a 9-yard touchdown pass to Eli Stove.
And Auburn knows not to take the foot off the gas. They were ahead 20-0 in one of these games 3 years ago and didn't hold on to win.
That's a knuckleball. It's going to be scooped by Palmer at the 3-yard line. Trey Palmer weaving his way. Nice return. And he's all the way out to the 34-yard line as we take you back to the previous play.
All right, those guys that were playing behind Davidson and Brown, one of them was playing Colby Wooden, number 25. Watch him. He's up against Ed Ingram, one of the best guards we have in this league. He leads SEC in tackles for a loss with 6.5. And watch him work into the play and get it onto the quarterback. And from there, bad things happen for LSU.
So the freshman quarterback, having thrown an interception and then fumbled, has got to be a little rattled. Let's see if he can pull it back together here at the 5-minute mark remaining in the half. We'll keep it simple right now. Nice spin move by John Emery. Emery gets out to the 40. This is just moments ago. Sherwood going off limping for Auburn. Auburn with a 2-touchdown lead. Here's the big fella sliding for the first down.
Yeah, this is a big drive for the LSU football team. Remember, Auburn gets the ball to start the second half. 5-minute mark. We always talk about it. End of halves, beginning of halves.
He slid too early. I stand corrected. Didn't get the first down. Now they do. John Emery will pick it up at the 45. So they've got a full complement of timeouts. LSU with 3 timeouts, 4.5 to go in the second quarter. As Coach Ogeron pulls the mask down just long enough to hydrate.
So let's keep an eye on that safety position. Sherwood and Monday have been doing a great job keeping things in front of them. Let's see what happens here.
Terrace Marshall, #1 receiver for LSU, in a slot to the left side for TJ Finley. Off-play action. Fires incomplete, intended for Marshall, a one-hopper. And Tennyson was back there defending, but didn't need to defend at all. As we give you the Aflac trivia question, which was youngest quarterback to start since World War II. And the aforementioned offensive coordinator for LSU. There's Steve.
With the glasses, with the glasses on, calling the plays.
Steve was just a little over 18 when he made that start in '76. Calling the shot here on 2nd down and 10. Finley pressured again. Wants to get rid of it. Got belted as he threw it intended for Jeray Jenkins. And he's slow to get up.
Well, Big Cat Bryant this time. Defensive end does the job out here. Watch him put the pressure, and TJ Finley can feel it. Matched up outside. He spins inside, and all of a sudden the quarterback goes, uh-oh, I got to get out of here, and throw the thing away.
He took a whack from Newkirk. 3rd down and 10. Got to get it to the 45 of Auburn to keep things alive here offensively for the Tigers of LSU. 1 out of their last 5 on 3rd down conversions. Finley throws incomplete, intended for Emery, broken up by Papo.
And that ball was just thrown behind far enough that Papo had an opportunity on this. Again, the pass rush for Auburn. And everybody's been waiting to break out, but you see the ball's thrown behind that time, and Emery was lucky to get his hand on it and knock it away from Pablo.
So things still not going well for the freshman, and it brings up Von Rosenberg to kick away to Eli Stove again.
So Auburn defense is dialed up today, aren't they?
No doubt. Near perfect first half.
Oh, what a weapon this punt.
Stove lets it go. It bounces and it's kept out this time at the 1, I think. Yes, it is. So Von Rosenberg does his job, one of the oldest guys in college football.
Was that 54-yard punt right to the 1-yard line?
Right to the 1-yard line where Jabril Cox downed it. There's Steve Ensminger, the offensive coordinator in 76.
Look at that quick release.
Yeah, he winds up and rips it. We love talking to Steve, one of the great offensive coordinators in college football. Jamie?
Well, he said back in my day, we could sign as many quarterbacks as we could. So there were actually 10 guys on the roster. You can imagine when he got the phone call that he would be the starting quarterback. He pretended like he didn't have a memory of it, but he said the nerves were real, but I loved every second.
It's kind of like my partner over here. I think he was about 8th on the Purdue list.
That.
Here comes Bigsby, got the edge. Tank finally got one going. Brought down by Hampton, but a big gainer.
It's the eye candy, and it's part of this Auburn offense. You cannot look at these jet sweep guys going by. Watch the jet sweep. The linebackers stay inside, and all of a sudden the running back gets the edge.
Biggest gain of the play of the day for Bigsby out.
They call it
27.
They call it the eye candy, and it seems to work.
26-yard pickup. Here's the short throw to Stove, and he's going to lose a yard about as Jabril Cox in on the hit at the 3-minute mark. Again, as Gary said, 2-touchdown lead for Auburn, and they get the ball to start the third.
And how important that first down out of that 1-yard line spot, because if they get a couple stops, they're using their timeouts. LSU has all 3 of them, would have got great field position. Huge first down run by Auburn.
3 wideouts up top. Bigsby pushing out of the backfield, and Nix is going to take off. Bo Nix, he's got another first down. It appears out at the 38-yard line.
Brad, Bo Nix catches a little criticism by leaving the pocket too soon, but watch how his instincts tell him to get out now, just before Gabe enters that sack thing. That was perfectly done by Bo Nix.
First down with 2:10 to go in the half. Play fake, and now lobbing it and completing it. Seth Williams still going. All the way to the 34.
That's that famous RPO offense that Auburn brought into this league. Bo Nix goes down the line of scrimmage, looks like he's going to run it, and then right at the last second, he lets it go to his receiver. I don't even know if Williams thought he was going to get the ball on that play.
Boy, he got a 28-yard gain, dragging Stingley with it. Timeout. Coming up, Adam, Rick, and BJ will have first half analysis and highlights from around the country on the Geico halftime report.
The play is so reminiscent, Brad, of the Nick Marshall pass against Alabama at the end of that game. That just remember like it was yesterday.
It was the best game of the day so far from Nix to Matthews. Now he's looking for more pressure from behind. Still scrambling around and does find a man. Shivers, and Shivers got about 4 out of it.
Well, Ojulari had a shot at him, number 8, 4 sacks so far this season after just 4 games. Came around the corner, and Bo, with his athletic ability, eluded it.
DJ Ojulari, the freshman, who's a younger brother of Aziz Ojulari of Georgia, who's great.
Pretty good too.
Yeah, those two are a pretty good tandem. You have them on the same team from the same family. Here's a jet sweep, Eli Stove. First down, taking would-be tacklers to the 18-yard line.
What a great drive by this Auburn offense right here. Remember where they got this football. 5 minutes to go, 3 timeouts. LSU's licking their chops. If we get a stop here, we can make this thing with great field position, 14-7. But finishing the half is so important because they get the ball to start the second half.
Eli Stove has carried the ball 50 times for 4 touchdowns coming in. 58 now Bo Nix weaving his way through traffic inside the 10 to the 9.
How about that play? I mean, you know you're a good athlete. You know why you're a 5-star player when you make a play like that, because I thought Gay had him. Watch this athletic play by Bo. Comes out, Gay's right there, 6'5", gets inside of him. Beautiful.
Bo Nix putting the brakes on and moving around the big fella and then cuts it back inside.
Probably got an 80-inch wingspan, like Gay, and he gets inside of it.
He got 5 more yards once he passed him at 2nd down and 1. Timeout with 45 seconds remaining in the half. Remember, this thing started way back at the, what, 1-yard line?
Yeah. Put a little jet sweep action. The linebackers get caught peeking, and all of a sudden, the secondary is out of sorts, and no one's able to handle the edge. The problem, if you watch LSU film, they've had all year giving up plays to the outside.
Golden opportunity here for Auburn at the 9-yard line. 2nd and 1. Nix lofts it to the corner. Wide open. Capers, touchdown, Auburn.
Just a little rub to the outside is all you need. And it worked perfectly. Don't be obvious. Don't be obvious. It was not obvious.
Obvious thing was Xavier Capers was as lone as I am over here next to you.
Got it. But Seth Williams made the play. Seth Williams did not just go out and block the defender. He just slightly rubbed him.
Well, 21-0 Auburn. A 99-yard drive and 8 plays. Bo Nix caps it with his 2nd touchdown toss of the day.
Congratulations.
Official sponsor of the SEC.
Thursday night, good news for all of us. Fall TV is back. What happens when 11-year-old genius Sheldon Cooper graduates high school? A lot. Gather the family together for the season premiere. Young Sheldon, Thursday at 8, 7 Central here on CBS. 99-yard drive, and Capers caps it with the touchdown reception from Nix. His first career touchdown for Capers. Carlson's kick. Trey Palmer from the 2. Trying to make something happen. And he might. Trey Palmer couldn't get around the kicker. Anders Carlson saved what would have been a 98-yard touchdown.
Great tackle. You're right, Ness. He's gone.
Everybody complains about kickers. Anders Carlson just saved a touchdown.
And it's a good thing he's a tall kicker because he needed every inch of it. What a play.
He and his brother Daniel, a great duo of kickers at the same school. And nice player. It would have been gone. Oh, is he going to love that in the film?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's looking on the big board. Show it again. He's going, show it again. Show it again.
So instead of 21-7, there's 33 seconds left. And it's LSU from the 35. Deep ball into some coverage, incomplete, intended for Marshall.
Okay, so this Auburn defense has earned the right to rush the passer by stopping the run. And that's what you do. Remember last week against South Carolina, LSU ran the ball 54 times. Can't do it today because they're not getting the yards. 35 yards rushing already just in this game.
LSU hasn't been shut out in the first half in 2 years. And they're 27 seconds away from that right now. Finley short over the middle on a crossing route to Jenkins. Jenkins across midfield to about the 47. LSU's got two timeouts.
Yep. They got a stoppage of the clock here on first down. They actually could ground it, or if they've got a play already called, go for it.
Well, they're in the shotgun. So here they go with whatever they've got. They're going deep and caught out of bounds by McMath. McCreary was covering, but didn't really need to cover much. The ball was too wide.
McCreary, best coverage corner, for Auburn, and you can see why they say it, because it was perfect.
And he used the boundary beautifully there. So 8 seconds left. And Auburn's defense is trotting back, sending 4 guys back inside the 15-yard line.
You could throw a short one and try to get into field goal range.
He's going to let it rip down the middle there.
And you got a chance for a field goal.
3 seconds.
Yep. Take a timeout now. Get your field goal team on. Clock was going to stop anyway because of the first down, but not a bad call here. Chances of getting the home run ball very slim, but Auburn was basically conceding a short pass here and challenging LSU to try to make the long field goal.
Well, coming up 2 weeks on CBS, it will truly be a tradition unlike any other. The best players in the world on the course at Augusta National. Join us for a special autumn at the Masters this November on CBS, 2 weeks away, and then we'll have LSU and Alabama from Baton Rouge on that particular Saturday of the weekend. 3 seconds remaining, and here comes the field goal unit. Remember, Cade York missed from 54 earlier in the game.
With plenty of leg, though.
Yep, just a little bit wide right. Rosenberg will hold it. This is going to be from 50, almost 51. Try to get something on the board. We will call it a 51-yard attempt, but we'll also call a timeout Auburn to let Mr. York think about it a little bit. So coming up, the final play of the half. Some of the news and notes around college football this week. Colin Hill has opted out for the season. Mississippi State, arguably their best player, will get ready for the NFL draft. Wisconsin and Nebraska canceled. Wisconsin, we understand, has more problems with COVID now. And if you didn't see Talia Tagovailoa last night against Minnesota, he looked pretty darn good.
Sure did.
To his little brother. Tua starting tomorrow for the Dolphins. The Tagovailoa family had a Maryland game and then a Miami game on their schedule this week.
Tua can afford to fly him down.
Yeah, I think he's got enough cheese to do that. Oh. Cade York try to put LSU on the board here before halftime from 51. That time he got it. Good kick. Well, they don't get shut out.
No, you never know. You never know.
That could come in handy later.
Got it.
So that's the first half in the tale of two Tigers here at Halloween at Auburn. End of the first half, 21-3. For Jamie's halftime interview, Coach Balzan, go to Twitter at SEC on CBS. Now let's go to Zook and the guys in New York.
All right, Ness, 21-3 at the half. Coming up here on the Geico Halftime Report, we'll show you how Travis Etienne made history while helping top-ranked Clemson survive a Halloween scare after this word from your local station.
America Decide.
Intercepted by Nehemiah Pritchett, and now it's a football in the end zone.
Eli Stove, touchdown Auburn.
He goes down, ball is loose, ball is loose.
The Auburn Tigers have the better of it as we head into quarter number 3 here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. 21-3. Auburn out in front, and they get the football to start the third quarter as well. Avery Atkins will tee it up for LSU. That is Tank Bigsby back deep, along with Darius Tennyson for Auburn. And they'll let this one go. And Auburn will start at the 25-yard line. Welcome back to the booth. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl down on the field. I think if you're going to hand out candy right now, I'd give it to Kevin Steele's defense for Auburn.
I would. They shut down the running game, forced the freshman quarterback to play on the road, but also I'd give a little bit to Bo Nix. He had a really good first. I can't even think. I was just sitting here trying to think, did he even make a dangerous throw in the first half?
He had one high one.
Yeah, one high one, but nothing really dangerous. The whole first half, he's been in total control. Chad Morris has done a great job of setting up the game plan for him.
We'll show you some of those first half trends as we go, but let's snap it from the 25 with the aforementioned Bo Nix. On the play fake, the short toss to Pegues. The big fellow rumbling for about 17.
All right, so we got Tank Bigsby, and then Pegues gets the ball. He needs a nickname, and I'm going to call him Tilt, because when he tilts everything he touches. Tank and Tilt, because if you get in his way, he's going to tilt it.
300-pound H-back. You can't call him H-back. I think you call him H-I-G-K or whatever. A couple of letters.
He's a heavy back.
He's a heavy back. And here comes Shivers. Let's check in with Jamie.
Oh, Ed Ogeron just went on and on when I simply asked him, Coach, what's the problem offensively? So we can't block anybody, and we're dropping balls. The score should be 7-3, not 21-3 at this point. Just upset with how things have not progressed in the run game, especially guys. Auburn defensively, safety Jamian Sherwood will not return to this game with a lower leg injury.
Yeah, I'll say that, but they've also given up like 260 yards of total offense in the first, closer, 250 in total offense. Auburn has been able to run the ball and keep it balanced for Bo Nix.
Here's the end around Eli Stove. A little hesitation. He's going to go down the line of scrimmage. As we take a look at the first half trends, Bo Nix about as good a first half as he's had. 175 total yards, 2 touchdown passes, had some good scrambles. TJ Finley 143 passing, but 1 fumble return for a touchdown and almost a pick 6 on the interception. And 3 first half points.
And like you said, Auburn has not sacked him a lot, but the goal of a good pass rush is to make you uncomfortable.
And he has been.
He seemed a little uncomfortable as the game went. I thought he got comfortable, and then he got uncomfortable as the game went on.
3rd down at 6. Nix throws wide open. His favorite target, Seth Williams.
Boy, if you're an LSU fan, you are tired of having the play-by-play announcer say wide open. Because that has been the story of this LSU defense so far this year. They're having trouble stopping people, and they're busting assignments.
Yeah, there was 3 guys up there and only 2 defenders. And that Stove got tangled up in the traffic at the end of the play.
I mean, you remember when Auburn sorted those 3 guys out so well? LSU not sorting them out.
No. Going deep. Nix overshot. Capers. And there's Eli Stove over there on the sideline, favoring his ankle or lower leg. First half possessions.
And that last one, that's the one that stings right there.
Yeah.
It's 14-0.
99-yard drive.
Yeah, 1 yard line. You stop him on 1st down. That was a great call by Chad Morris to get him out of the end zone. Schemed very well. Gets him out, breaks it out, and that was the drive starter right there.
That Tank Bigsby run of about 25, 28 yards. Nix in trouble this time, drags himself away, and there might be a face mask because flags fly in at the end.
From 2 directions, you can see the body language from the LSU defensive lineman. They knew as you reach out that they just grabbed the face mask of Bo Nix.
And Bo gave you the call, but here's the official call from Alex Moore.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 11. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Ali Gay is the guy that got the hand in the face mask of the Auburn quarterback.
So it's not very often that you're losing 21-3, and that's your first penalty of the football.
Wow. That means there's been turnovers, and there has been 2 costly ones. LSU doesn't need to help Auburn any more than what Auburn's doing to him to start with. 28-yard line, Schwartz in motion, 1st down, and the throw is out to Schwartz. Schwartz, great speed if they can get a blocker for him. They do. He's down to the 5.
Great leverage created by the jet sweep action. Schwartz goes in motion one way, and when he turns, watch him go in motion. LSU adjusts and back the other way, and he's got leverage. Man to man, and a good job by Hudson, number 5, blocking blocking the man covering Schwartz on the play. Well designed again.
23-yard pickup, and had Stingley not knocked him out of bounds, it would have been a touchdown. Tank Bigsby back in, 1st and goal, and on the RPO, Nix pulls it and scores. Touchdown, Auburn.
I think Bigsby wanted the ball on that one.
He wouldn't let go.
No, he would not. That slowed down Bo on the play, but give me that ball. But then he outruns Jacoby Stevens and pulls right through into the end zone. I tell you, Bo Nix is having a football game here today.
AT&T 5G pylon cam as Bo piles right into you for the touchdown from 5 yards out. And just like that, on the opening drive of the second half, the Auburn Tigers add to the lead.
And what do we talk about? The last 5 minutes of the first half, the first 5 minutes of the second half. 14-3, Auburn.
75-yard march in 8 plays. Nix caps it.
The future.
Thursday, something positive's coming. It's the new CBS original series, Be Positive, from executive producer Chuck Lorre. Stars Silicon Valley's Thomas Middleditch and Tony Award winner Annalee Ashford. Be Positive premieres Thursday at 8:30, 7:30 Central here on CBS. If you're an LSU Tiger fan, try to be positive, even though you're down 28-3
well,
right now.
I was wondering what Gus might have said to him at halftime. I know what he said to him. I think he said last time we were up 20-0 on these guys. In the second half, we had 7 drives in 2017 for 73 total yards. Let's move the ball this time.
They had 75 total yards to open up the quarter, so they've already topped that as we take back and take another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, Tank Bigsby here says, I've had 3 straight 100-yard games. Give me the football. And Bo says, my read says I get the football. Yeah, I got it. And Bo was right.
Yeah, Bo was right. Tank's still looking for the handoff, and the 5G AT&T pylon cam shows Bo Nix, the Auburn quarterback, coming right into your living room again.
So plenty of time left in the football game, but do you wonder how much longer do you continue to play conservative, try to run the ball between the tackles, or do you open up and see what the freshman's got?
First down, he's got it back in the air. Intercepted by Auburn. So, another interception. This one's by the Big Cat. One of the only guys bigger than the LSU quarterback on the field. And a defensive lineman's dream.
I think it was Big Cat who deflected it, and then I think he catches it in traffic, by the way. There were 3 Auburn players. Watch, end of the line, number 1. He sees the release. Is he the guy? No, it was inside.
It was Newkirk.
It was Newkirk inside. Big Cat went wide, and then he comes back, and Newkirk gets his arm up.
And it's a jump ball, and Big Cat says, I got this.
He did. He took it away from Papo.
Papo said it was mine.
Papo says, no, I'm bigger, Big Cat says.
At the 21. And now Nix looking for more. Short throw, Pegues. The big fella rumbles down to the 13-yard line.
True freshman, 300-pound H-back. The heavy position. Look at that.
Look at the move.
Yeah, look at him move. They think he's going to be great. He's already good. They'd like him to play at 285. Think about that.
Chad Morris said to us yesterday, he is a maybe one-time in your coaching career type of guy to coach.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty eye-opening.
I agree. And he says, I love tight ends in my offense, and if he comes along, I can really add some plays.
Now it's Tank Bigsby to the 6. And it's first and goal.
And this is why I want to call him tilt, because when he has a chance, he can tilt whoever he goes after. Watch number 8, 9 right here. Watch him come around, and the tilt.
Yeah, that hurts. So first and goal, Auburn trying to take advantage of Big Cat Bryant's interception. And the freshman quarterback looking on and wondering what hit him here at the Plains so far. In motion, and Bo Nix keeps it again. Got to the 3. We talk about J.J. Pegues being athletic. How'd you like to play basketball against this dude? Here's his three-pointers.
All right, recruit that guy.
Yeah.
Recruit this guy. Wow. How would you like to be a recruiter? You go out, hey, take a look at this kid for me. Okay, you go out there. Yeah, I offered him. I didn't even have to call home.
Just inside the 3. 2nd down and goal. Pegues comes over on a wing to the left side. It's Tank Bigsby for maybe a yard. Jabril Cox, the first guy to meet him, and he's still not down, and finally is. Jacoby Stevens comes out of the pile with the ball.
The big truck tilts him. You go, man, Stingley's going, I didn't sign up to cover this guy like this.
Give me the license plate number on that guy.
Huge stop for this LSU defense. Can they hold him here?
3rd down and goal at the 2.
Timeout. Did not like the look. Coach O ran all the way down there.
So at 9:03, we'll take a timeout as well. Auburn trying to take total command if they can score again on this drive.
Over the last century.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, Ford, Aflac, and by Smile Direct Club. It's a happy Halloween for Auburn Tiger fans so far. They've got the big lead. Tonight on CBS Sports Network, catch a Mountain West doubleheader. Number 25, Boise State, look to continue their climb up the rankings. They'll take on Air Force, followed by San Diego State on the road against Utah State, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Auburn at the 2-yard line with a 3rd down and goal, trying to take advantage of Big Cat Bryant's interception, the 2nd of the day, thrown by T.J. Finley.
You got Seth Williams and Derek Stingley down at the bottom of the screen with a very wide split.
2 of the best in the SEC. One-on-one down there. Tank Bigsby in the backfield with Bo Nix. And that's Schwartz in motion. It's Bigsby straight ahead. Didn't get there, did he? No signal. Now they signal touchdown. So another turnover turns into a score for the Auburn Tigers.
Well, Bigsby got it this time, and he followed good blocking up front. When you can get in from that area, good job up front by that Auburn offensive line. And Bigsby goes north-south, exactly the way you want your running back to do it. I don't see any knees going down. I think this one's going to stand.
Yeah, his whole body's in now, upper body.
And just looking over at the LSU sideline, it does look like Max Johnson is warming up, might have a new quarterback in for LSU.
Look down the line with the mass of bodies, and somewhere under there,
the rolling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Look at from the other side for you. And he's in from the waist up almost right there. Don't think there's too much to look at. Commanding lead for Auburn as they continue to look at.
I really do think it's a good job for the replay officials to take your time. It's 3rd down. It's an important call. If you don't make it, you see his knee down. It forces Auburn in to decide whether they want to go for a first down, a touchdown, or kick a field goal. So I think it's a good review to make sure.
After review, the ruling of touchdown stands.
So the interception turns into 6, and upcoming 7 more if Carlson hits the point after, and that's a pretty happy coach on the sideline right now, the way things are going. Not so much on the other side. Carlson up and good. And with just under 9 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. First, it was another turnover, another interception. This one by Big Cat Bryant. And then they only had to go 21 yards offensively. And Tank Bigsby, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year, has stretched the lead to 35-3.
Good choice. Head and CBS.
Let's take a look at the GMC game changers, Gary.
And it's been that Auburn defensive secondary. Known for playing great man-to-man coverage, but they also played zone at the right time. Got an overthrow, that pass rush. All the Auburn fans are wondering, when are we going to see that pass rush? Well, there it is, and produced the turnover and the touchdown. And then here in the second pass, you can't get to him, reach up, swat it away, and Big Cat makes the athletic play. So it does look like LSU is going to come in with Max Johnson. Personally, I don't quite get it. What, you got a batted pass? If he was good enough to start the second half, what difference does it make whether he had a batted pass? I mean, I don't see what he did wrong. Unless you're afraid he's going to lose his confidence, and I can tell you, I never lost my confidence. I had plenty of opportunity to. Why would you lose your confidence if you got a pass batted?
Yeah.
Mac's a good player, and if you talked about, if you did the reading and talked to Coach O, he said it was really a tight battle of who would start. He likes them both, and maybe an opportunity to see what Mac Johnson can do in this football game.
He did tell us as far as throwing the ball, but that Finley is the better of the two at throwing the ball. Watkinsville, Georgia native, and if the name rings a bell, and he looks a little bit like his daddy did back in the day.
Yep.
Max Johnson, Brad Johnson, who played at Florida State, won a Super Bowl. His son, the lefty at quarterback, Ty Davis-Price in the backfield with him. First down from the 25. His first throw is right on the money. And it's going to be about an 8-yard pickup.
And then just let me make real clear about it. It's nothing against Max. I mean, he's a good football player. Miles Brennan right there. The injury left the opportunity for the two young guys to get on the field. Max could come in and steal this job too. But now if you're Miles Brennan, you say, I might get a chance to play it.
I think so, yeah. And that chance to play might be against Alabama. Nice play defensively by Roger McCreary. You like this guy, I do too.
He is. He's got the whole package. Very physical. You know, absolutely in that Ole Miss game, he had a key tackle to get the ball back for Auburn that allowed that drive. A corner blitz that time and a perfect call into the run.
Last year in this game, he had 10 tackles in his first career interception, which was at the 1-yard line. He's had another good game here today. 3rd down and 6. Johnson in trouble, flushed out of the pocket. Packo's giving chase, and Packo brings him down.
What a play, huh?
That was a long way to come around that corner.
That's right. That's why when you get these scholarships to these big-time schools, you better be able to run, because they put you on these blitzes and they say there's a lot of good guys to chase them now, and he did.
That was a long way, and he brings down the quarterback and forces the punt from Zach Von Rosenberg again.
There's a few you might not catch from behind that played quarterback in college football, but that time he got one he could catch.
Eli Stowe waiting back inside the 30. High spiral. Stowe backpedals, waits on it, takes at the 18-yard line. Stowe across the 30. Took a big hit around the 31, but a nice return. He's actually still going. Todd Harris is the guy that wrapped him up. And 6:54 remaining in the 3rd quarter. All Auburn Tigers right now.
Today,
The NFL is on CBS.
35-3 Auburn in front. Our crew has seen enough of Bo Nix to know that he plays way better here at Jordan-Hare Stadium than he does on the road. And there's the away and neutral numbers, and kind of hanging his head. And there's what he does when he's at home, and that's what he's done. The home cooking today, even though there's not 87,451 here. There is 17,000 and change.
And when we talked to him, I actually congratulated him on one thing that I've noticed about him, though. He is a clutch football player. He plays well on those last drives. Whether you win or lose, he's had a couple where he's won them, a couple where he got to the 5-yard line and didn't, but he plays well under pressure.
Gives it off to Shivers here, and Shivers got a couple off the right side. Mo also said, you know, the great quarterbacks are the guys that want the spotlight and want to do something big late in games. And he mentioned Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Well, that's okay. Those are pretty good guys.
Yep.
Yeah, not bad. Son of former Auburn quarterback, of course, Patrick Nix, played here early to mid-90s. Here he's going with a long ball, incomplete. They've tried that one to Capers a couple times today. It's well covered. Cordell Flott that time in coverage, and it's 3rd down and 8. Seth Williams trots out to the top of your screen, and 3 receivers to the near side. Looking down the middle, in trouble, and bails and runs, and 1st down and a bunch more. Nick still going. Finally hits the turf all the way down to the 46-yard line.
Well, you haven't seen a lot of athletic people, much more athletic than this quarterback. You know, he came down, he had a lot of places that recruit him. I think at the end he was looking at Penn State. Of course, most everybody thought he'd go to Auburn and play, and you see the skill set he has. Running, throwing, leadership, you know, honorable guy, great leader. I mean, and good handling of the snap right there, too.
Flip to Schwartz, no gain on the play. During the offseason, Bo spent some time with Joe Burrow and some other guys at Jordan Palmer's passing camp. He says, you know, you hang around Joe and you learn some stuff. And, of course, you learn from a Heisman Trophy winner. And he said, we really weren't that big of friends. We knew each other. But he said, spending some time and throwing it around. And Sam Darnold of the Jets was there, too. And he said, hey, it's just guys throwing balls, man, having fun. And no big competition as far as who had the better arm and all of that. Well, 2 of those guys are millionaires in the NFL, and Bo's a sophomore here at Auburn. 2nd and 11. Pumps once down the middle. Seth Williams, 1st down.
He's so strong, Seth Williams, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Bo hung with him that time, too. He had a matchup he liked, and he just waited for number 18 to beat the coverage. It was good coverage. Seth Williams comes off. Got an inside technique, got Jabril Cox on him, kind of a hybrid safety linebacker type, and he just stuck with his guy and threw it.
Man, Cox had good coverage. You
Yes,
can't do it any better than that, though. Stick it right in there to your favorite target. And now, going to keep it here. I don't know if he was thinking about getting it to McGee's.
He was.
Kind of flaring out.
It was that same play, but that time Cordell Flott, number 25, was there in position to stop it, so he had to keep it. Going to come across, big 89. Covered. All right, come back the other way.
Get what you can and get down, which was a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9. McGee's and Luke Deal in there in a 2 tight end set. As we approach 4 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Play action. Nick scans the field, going to take off again, and he's going to get another 1st down. Biggest hit he took was a guy just standing still on the sideline.
Well, I've been in this league a long time, Ness, and in 2010, I remember a quarterback making a run, and I've seen a lot of great plays, you know, the kick 6 and everything, but I've never seen an individual show his athletic ability the way Cam Newton done that thing. And today, Bo's not showing Cam type stuff, but he's showing what an athletic quarterback can do to a pass rush.
There's the 2 freshman quarterbacks on LSU sideline hoping to get another chance, but right now it's ball control for Auburn. And here comes Bigsby. Let's take you back to that game 10 years ago that Gary's talking about that he and Vern called.
Yeah, my all-time favorite play, right about when he accelerates against Patrick Peterson, right there. Woo!
Patrick Peterson didn't have that happen to him very many times, that's for sure.
No, that was a game number 4 and number 6. Cam rushed for 217 yards in that game.
2nd down and 5. And the Auburn Tigers eating clock. 3.5 minutes so far. 9th play of the drive. Bigsby, 1st down run. Ooh, he's tough.
He really is. 3 straight 100-yard games. You know what he is? He's dependable. holds on to the football for the most part. You know, he's had a couple that were close, but he falls forward. Love the way he runs. His offensive linemen know you don't even have to get a perfect block. If you get your hat on the guy, he's hard to bring down with one hand. He's one of those guys who just makes yards.
He was the guy that Auburn pinpointed as their tailback of the future out of LaGrange, Georgia. Georgia wanted him as well. He's doing pretty well here at the Plains as a freshman, trying to bounce it outside, and does. Got the edge, the stiff arm, and he's down to the 7-yard line.
You know, Auburn got a couple of breaks so far in this season, and they took advantage of them, and they finished out the games and they won them. And now they seem to be improving.
Yep.
You know, they've got a running attack now. It looks like they know Chad Morris has gotten comfortable with the talent and how to call these games. And everybody talks about the COVID effect, you know, not having a spring practice with a new offensive coordinator is a big deal.
Yeah. Good looking drive. 11th play coming up, 2nd down and 5. Play fake and quarterback draw. I don't know if Bo wanted to throw that or not, but he pulled it down and got close to the first down.
It was one of those RPOs. You got an offensive lineman pulling. He follows behind. He can either keep it or throw outside. Decides to keep it, and I think that was a good decision.
He was going to throw. It was going to be Eli Stove out in the flat, and instead he got it down inside the 4. 3rd down and about 1.5 yards.
Let's see if there's a fight for the handoff here again.
Not this time. Nice and smooth on the handoff to Bixby for the touchdown.
I feel like Dean Martin on that one. Is that I just handed it to me.
That's right.
Ed McMahon.
That was a softball.
People moving in both directions. Cross action from the tight end and inside zone the other way. Beautiful eye candy. That's the offense. It's the offense of what we're seeing all around college football, and it's tough to stop.
Extra point is good. Impressive drive. Tank Bixby. Tank's getting it rolling now. 2 touchdowns in this half, capping a 69-yard march in 12 plays. All Auburn with 1:33 to go in the 3rd.
Our retirement plan.
Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Greg Silver, our producer, says he's a big fan of number 7, whatever that is on the menu. Could use one of those about now, but we got a quarter left.
And Gus is finally getting even a little bit with LSU. Even in their 2013, he's 2-5 against them in his career. Even in 2013, when they went to the championship, they lost to LSU that year.
Here's Palmer from around the 10. Be the kicker that brings him down this time. It'll be the special teams around the 27-yard line. With 1:26 remaining in the quarter, time for a Heisman Watch presented by Nissan. Back to the New York studios.
All right, Ness, Travis Etienne becoming the ACC's all-time leading rusher, and Clemson's come from behind win over Boston College without Trevor Lawrence. He also had a career-high 140 receiving yards in the win. And then tonight, Justin Fields leading Ohio State to Penn State, where he once committed before ending up at Georgia. Back to you.
Travis Etienne not hurting his Heisman possibilities, and boy, is he going to be a good player at the next level as well.
I would say there's a couple guys on that team might do pretty well.
Max Johnson, that one hit as he throws and falls harmlessly over by the sideline. Smoke Monday came in and got a hit on him as we took a look at the AP top 10. Win over Boston College for Clemson. Alabama plays Mississippi State tonight. So does Ohio State, as Zook just told you, against Penn State. Notre Dame leading Georgia Tech, and Georgia beat Kentucky today. That's your top 5. Wisconsin idle, not that they wanted to be, but their matchup with Nebraska canceled due to COVID and will not be rescheduled. Here, I think LSU was wishing this one would have been rescheduled so far. Trevor Lawrence, if I failed to mention it, will not play against Notre Dame in the next game. So their freshman quarterback will continue to go on, and he had a good game today. And the 2 freshman quarterbacks for LSU today, not so much here in the Plains.
Just another little note, after Michigan State opened the season with a tough loss to Rutgers, they came back and beat Michigan today. Michigan thinks, all right, we got it. We got our guy.
We got this figured out. We're top 5 in the country. Not quite. 3rd and 10. Johnson throwing the flat, complete to the tight end, and Gilbert got a first down, and he's still going.
Yeah, you can misjudge Gilbert. You know, he's big old size tight end. You think you got the angle on him. Throw him a 3-yard pass, and he goes upfield. How are they going to figure out a way? You know, I mean, think about LSU. They got, bye week next week, and then
it's Alabama.
They better figure out something fast,
yes.
Right?
That was 17-yard pickup.
And I think they got to figure out how to use number 2 a little bit better.
And that one's going to be out of bounds. Incomplete, intended for Boutte. Pritchett, who's had a pretty good game back there covering.
I mean, the whole secondary has.
Yeah.
You know, they just had maybe a couple breakdowns. You're always going to have a couple, but for the most part, that explosive pass offense that LSU, dreams about all the time, been good at times. Not today.
Empty backfield for Johnson. 5 receivers if he can find one. Stands tall, delivers, complete, and close to a first down.
Nice job by Max that time. Stands tall, you're correct. Goes to the right guy, good protection this time, getting his opportunity to play and showing why he was recruited. Beautiful throw.
3rd and a yard. And now it's not 3rd and a yard anymore. Papo and company with a big loss.
Well, coming into this game, this front for Auburn has been questions like, when are they going to start taking over games like we remembered? You saw Newkirk was in there, Papo's in there. They're just making those tackles behind the line of scrimmage. That's the defense that people are used to seeing here at Auburn.
One Tiger taking care of the other at the end of 3. 42-3, Auburn. Here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. We'll return to Auburn right after this message and a word from your local station.
She wanted a roommate.
MyRam.com.
Home Depot SEC on CBS enters the 4th quarter with the Auburn Tigers in command over LSU, and a punt coming up to start the 4th quarter. That's kind of been the story of the day, with the exception of a 50-yard field goal. No offense to speak of for LSU's Tigers, and the punt's going to go out of bounds and around the 13-yard line. So we welcome you back. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie down on the field. I didn't see this one coming, I'll be honest with you. But, Auburn got a touchdown to end the first half, and then 3 straight in the second half.
Yes, and they, the history of the last 3 years was mentioned to them. They had leads in all 3 years. LSU comes back. This time they just kept saying, they grinded them at halftime. We got to play offense. We got to keep going against these guys. Don't give them any light. And they have done the little things. I mean, they produced the turnovers. They're winning 3rd down. 7 of 10 Auburn is on 3rd down. I mean, against this LSU defense, they just have not been able to show the stops.
And they're looking more, and Nick's going deep. Got a man out there. Schwartz, nobody can catch him. Forget about it. Touchdown, Auburn, 81 yards. Excuse me, 91 yards.
I think this is a busted coverage. I don't know what these 2 guys are doing. Stingley just turns it loose. I don't know if it's zone. I don't know if it's man-to-man. LSU doesn't know either.
And Schwartz is just trotting the last 30 yards because he's a world-class sprinter, and they have been unable to get him on deep routes. They've been throwing a lot of screens and stuff to him. That time, missed extra point, hit the left upright. But other than that,
that's all right. He made a tackle to save a touchdown.
That's right.
He's 6 points ahead.
Yeah. A 1-play drive, I should say. Took Schwartz about 11 seconds to get there. Touchdown Auburn.
CBS.
look at our game recap between the Tigers here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Scary defense for sure. A couple of takeaways, one return for a touchdown, a fumble recovered. The other one was almost a pick six. And Nick's retreat. Bo's been good today. 3 passing, 1 rushing. And then give it to Tank. When in doubt, this one an easy one as Tank Bigsby goes in for the score. And then you tack on a 91-yard touchdown moments ago from Nick's to Anthony Schwartz, which is a career long for both of them. And you have the most points allowed this season, 48. Not good. And none of those numbers are good.
No, and remember, Ed is a defensive coach. I mean, he takes a lot of pride in his defense. He said he was embarrassed after the Mississippi State game, Missouri game, and probably today.
Yeah, let's say. We'll bring it out to the 25.
Santa Claus kind of comes with a mask if you do it right.
Pretty much, if you do it right. I'm not sure what we got there exactly, but that's kind of a there's a Josh Taylor. Josh never did give nothing to the tin man that he didn't already have.
He's in proper garb.
Yes, he is.
Mask right up there.
Yep. And here with football helmets, the 2 sets of Tigers and one having the better of it so far. Max Johnson in relief. TJ Finley, if you're just joining us, one freshman quarterback in for the other. Johnson will keep this one. Gets to the edge to pick up about 5 yards as we check in with Jamie.
Well, he was chased down on that play a little bit by Smoke Monday. I got to know the safety for Auburn a little bit this week. Went all the way back to when he started playing football. 4 years old. Grandma signs him up. He had to quit early on because he had asthma. It was too much running for him. So he comes back as a 5-year-old after training himself so much in the offseason that he literally outran his asthma. I had to clarify. So he comes back as a 5-year-old, and he's a running back. It doesn't go well for him, though. He runs the wrong way in a game. He scores a touchdown the wrong way. Actually ends up going the other way, ends up in the end zone. But he said, I wasn't breathless. I said, you literally outtrained yourself as a 5-year-old getting out of asthma. That's insane.
He pulled a Jim Marshall. Where'd the smoke come from, Jay?
That actually came from his grandfather after he became such a running young man, 10 years old. Grandpa said, you just are smoking. It stuck with him. I said, you have to maintain a pretty good football status if you're going to keep a name like Smoke Monday. He said, that occurred to me when I started to get recruited, so he's just had to live up to it a little bit more.
He just came on a blitz on the outside, and we got a flag down.
And we've been watching him for 3 years. He's continued to grow as a football player, and as Jamie said, kind of ran his way right out of everything, huh?
Yep.
Great story.
Smoke's a heck of a player, and the Auburn defense has been...
Holding. Offense number 4. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And their whole defense has been on fire today, if you will. Tank Bigsby, Big Cat Bryant, Smoke Monday, they all got cool names. Smoke's real name is Quindarius, by the way. Big Cat's Marcavius. Tank is Cartavius.
Cartavius, that's what it is.
It's easier for the coaches, I can tell you that much. Here's just Max Johnson. Everybody home over there.
He zipped it, but made sure it was safe.
Let's get a Jeep update in New York. Adam Zucker, hard-working guy that he is.
Yeah, Ness, these are horses with names on CBS Sports Network. Boise State without Hank Bachmeier for undisclosed reasons. It's USC transfer Jack Sears to CT Thomas. Air Force has since tied it up at 7 over on CBS Sports Network. Back to you.
Good game there. A little lopsided here. 13:25 to go. Second down and 20. Johnson, quarterback draw. Just a little bit of looks. What he saw anyway, and gets a few. Still going to be 3rd down and long.
So I don't know if you can put this together for this LSU football team in time for Alabama. They got some guys that can run deep as well.
Yes, they do. They don't have one that they'd love to have, and Jalen Waddle is out for the year, but they got some other dudes that can run.
Remember, this LSU team is on a 20-year consecutive streak of 8 wins or more, and this year it's going to be difficult. 8 conference games, and they're going to have 3 losses.
Johnson, empty backfield on 3rd down and
10 conference games. They got 3 losses already.
Just a 3-man rush. Throw is complete to Boutte, the freshman. He's short of the first down. Another punting situation. And the different return man this time. I think Eli Stove's getting tired.
Everybody knew it was going to be tough for LSU this year. When starting the season, before Jamar Chase opted out, they were ranked 128th out of 130 teams in offensive production returning. That was before Jamar Chase left.
Great kick. Been a busy punter today. A different return man, Mark Anthony Richards, and he gets it back across the 30. And now we got a little pushing and shoving at the end, but no penalty.
I also think we'll see the end of Bo Nix. I don't think we'll see much of him either.
Happy day for the Auburn Tigers. 48-3. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut. The Home Depot, GMC, and by State Farm. To look in on the beautiful Auburn campus on a nice day. Sun and shine right now. Don't forget, post-game show presented by Rocket Mortgage will be coming up when we're done. Adam, BJ, and Rick will have all the highlights, updates for you. As we have 12:05 remaining, a lopsided affair in the 55th meeting between Auburn and LSU. And as Gary said, we do have a new quarterback, Grant Loy, in at the controls. Bo Nix's day is done. And Loy will keep it and lose a couple of yards. Transfer from Bowling Green, and Bo Nix is, boy, you know, that's a pretty good day right there.
Right now, when he left the game, he's obviously the leading passer with 300 yards, but he's also the leading rusher for Auburn in this game, and he gets a low 5 from the coach.
And you know, there have been some times, and we talked with Gus Malzahn, and I said he was a very happy-go-lucky guy with our Zoom call with him yesterday. You and Jamie had some nice questions for him, and then I brought up the fact that they've had some fortuitous plays go their way that maybe would have gone the other way, you know. And then he lit up like a jack-o'-lantern for about 5 minutes, and I don't think he was that happy with me. But nobody's going to say that Auburn didn't deserve to win this one, right?
No, that's for sure. No close calls in this one. But one more guy who's, you know, kind of lived the SEC life here as a coordinator. You know, when things aren't going real good as like Bo Pelini defensive coordinator or Chad Morris offensive coordinator, when things aren't going well, Chad was under a little bit of criticism, but today seemed to iron it out very nicely.
Yeah.
You know,
a nice blend.
Yes, he used what Auburn does well, running the ball, mixed it together with Bo's running. He kept using the jet sweeps all game to keep that eye candy going.
Hand off, Mark Anthony Richards. Loss on the play. Baskerville made the stop. So it's 4th down. LSU got their hands back on it again. The 10-minute mark.
Now this is a good move. They just took Stingley off the field for not returning punts on this play. I mean, that would be a disaster to lose Derek Stingley on a punt with the score 48-3. I was just about to say, why? Why is he out there?
Trey Palmer is instead end-over-end kick. Fair catch. Palmer takes around the 30-yard line.
And you can always say, yeah, he could fair catch it, but he could also drop the fair catch and have one of those fumble deals.
Just under 10 remaining. Auburn in command.
When you shoot the Zesty Bird Sunday.
Auburn by 45, just under 10 to go. Here's one of those plays I was talking about. This was last week against Ole Miss.
Yeah, and Gene has had basically an off day since the beginning. So I want to bring Gene in here and to kind of explain what would happen, because it takes so long, whether he touched it or not. Let's suppose he did. I'm wondering, as Shiver starts to run for it, he looks at the official, and the official seems to tell Shivers it's a touchback. What could happen there, and what could replay have done, Gene?
Well, Gary, you know what? It's a great question, and I think we all have to remember that they're replay officials too. So they make judgments as well before initiating a stoppage. In this play, a stoppage we all know should have been initiated to look at it, take the minute or two to do that. And then what you look for is any player that is continuing to play. So in this case, when you have that player, even though the punt returner himself has kind of broken down, the kicking team player continues moving on. And in the NCAA, by rule, only one player has to continue to play to have what we would call immediate continuing action. So in that situation, this player that runs into the end zone to recover a touched kick was immediately continuously acting on the play, and the result should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, the whistle blew before he got it, though. That's another question. It was in the end zone. Shiver seems to look at the official and realize it's going to be a touchback, or assume it's a touchback, and stop. So you're saying, let's suppose they would have called it a deflection off the finger. They would have let, in your opinion, the touchdown stand for Ole Miss.
Yes, because you have a player that's still actively participating in that play, although it was blown. Look, as replay continues to grow and these situations start to show themselves, as unique as they are, what you're finding is coaches will coach their players. Look, even if the whistle finishes or blows, continue to finish that play, right? If we blew him down by contact and the ball's laying there, go get it. Those types of things I'm sure the coaches are talking to their players about.
I'll tell you one thing, as replay continues to grow, I'm glad you're growing with us, Gene. And here is a touchdown pass to Booty.
Beautiful throw.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty. Max Johnson, his first touchdown as a LSU Tiger, right on the money.
Well, it was an interesting play last week, and I wanted to get a little clarity, and LSU finally has a drive.
43-yard touchdown pass from the lefty to the other freshman, Kayshon Boutte, and LSU is going to go for two. Because that's what the book says, or the card says.
Or practice.
Yeah.
You know, get a play for your young players.
You know your kicker can kick for the most part. Johnson scrambling, throws back across his body. That's a tough throw for anybody, especially going that way.
Going to be roughing the passer, though.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 99. Half the distance to the goal, replay the try.
T.D. Moultrie, number 99.
Yep.
Yeah, it hits him right at the as he lets it go. And he doesn't see the flag yet, and then till it was over. So half the distance to the goal on that one.
So that puts it to 1.5. And they move it to the right hash. Let's see if Johnson tries to take this one in himself, being just a little bit closer. Rolls to throw, and he's going to head for the corner if he can get there. And he does. 2-point conversion's good. Good scramble by Max Johnson.
He showed his speed. Head Coach Ogeron said he's the better runner of the two, and he showed that he's got the wheels.
So 8:43 remaining. 71-yard drive engineered by Max Johnson, including the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. 48-11 after Max gets it into the pylon.
Pepperoni pizza
on CBS.
Adam Zucker with the latest from Oklahoma State and Texas. Right after the 6th-ranked undefeated Cowboys had gone up 11, Deshaun Jamison, after he mishandles it at the goal line, goes all the way to the other goal line. There was a penalty on the play that backed up the extra point, which they then missed, so it's a 5-point game in the third quarter. As we go back to Ness, Gary and Jamie.
Boy, that looked like BJ running that thing back for the touchdown. As the sun thinks about setting over Jordan-Hare Stadium, 48-11. Max Johnson engineering a 71-yard drive in 4 plays. Bo Nix is like, hey, this is nice. This is the way I like it. I don't have to play the rest of this quarter. And we're going to win, and I'm going to look good at home again. Well, after this, coupled with the Ole Miss win last week, 4-2 is going to look pretty good for Auburn.
It sure does. Their schedule ahead of them. Obviously, they're going to play Alabama. They finish.
Onside kick. Auburn has it.
Finish with Texas A&M at the end of the year. Could be a huge game.
Yeah. Well, next week, CBS with a college football doubleheader for you. 11:30 a.m. Air Force and Army. Carter, Aaron, and Jenny will bring you that one. Then it's back to the studio with Zook and the guys. Catch up all the day's action. Then we'll head down to the Jacksonville for a matchup of top 10s, Florida and Georgia, which will probably decide the East and who's going to go to Atlanta, as it seemingly always does. Doubleheader next Saturday on CBS. Grant Loy on the keeper to about the 41. Damone Clark made the tackle.
So coming to this game, Gus Malzahn was 7 for 15 against the big three: Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. And that win, he was 2-5 against LSU, but he beats them in this one. You know, now 8-15. But remember, he also beat #1 Alabama in 2013, #1 Georgia in 2017, and #1 Alabama in 2017. Had some big wins against those three teams too.
That last month of that season was crazy.
Crazy.
Throw a little bit high, incomplete. Talking about Bo Nix, his sophomore quarterback. It's been one of those good days.
Yeah, he's almost had a perfect day. Never really threw a ball that was in any danger. Put up 300 yards, dissected the defense, and showed his athletic ability. Just had it all and then capped it off with the home run ball to finish the game.
81 yards rushing and a touchdown, 300 yards passing, including 91 on that long ball to Schwartz for his third scoring toss of the day. So he's got 9 touchdowns through the air and 3 on the ground so far through what it will be 6 games shortly. Lloyd going to throw late and incomplete. And I think right now Gus is thinking, you know what, just keep it in bounds, take a knee or something instead of throwing an incomplete pass. Jamie?
Well, we saw that low high five between Gus when he took Bo Nix out of the game. And one of those things that he talked to us about in terms of giving up play calling abilities when he hired Chad Morris was the ability to connect with players more often during the week. He said, when I was in a play calling in the offensive meetings, that is all the dedication. It took all my energy and focus. But now he really looks at third downs. He's a special teams guy again, and it has allowed the players to not only reconnect with their head coach, but for him to enjoy them really from a zoomed out point of view. And I've heard, honestly, I checked in with several people in this program, and they said Gus is different this year. He's lighter, he's brighter, he's more accessible, and it's because he brought that Chad Morris situation in where he really trusts him as a play caller.
I didn't realize that they had never coached together. They're always kind of joined at the hip. Right. They've been friends forever. They kind of came from the same area.
The Arkansas connection.
Yeah, right.
You know, I actually thought they kind of ran the same offense, but it's been new terminology too for the football team. That's given up a lot if you're Gus Malzahn.
You're not kidding.
They still have the feel of it, though. The jet sweep part of it, yeah. I think that Chad had to, I think he had to assure Gus, all right, I'm not going to give up on the jet sweep.
Chad tries to lock the door in the offensive staff meetings now, so Gus doesn't sneak in. Chapman to punt. Trey Palmer back deep. Homer camps under it and lets it go, kind of fakes it. It goes out of the corner, a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Live long and prosper tomorrow with the CBS Sunday Night Movies from J.J. Abrams and Justin Lin. Star Trek Beyond tomorrow on the CBS Sunday Night Movies.
So now, where do you start if you're Coach O?
I don't know.
I mean, you start with the defense. It does appear with the bye week that Miles Brennan will be okay. Do you come back with Brennan, you know, before the big Alabama game?
I think they definitely do that if Miles is ready to go. But they got Miles to go in their defense. Yes, it's not going to matter.
Sure do.
Johnson. Crossing route complete. To Gilbert, the tight end. Out to the 26.
Max Max done a good job in there. He's handled the football game. You know, for everybody else out there, it might be garbage time. For Max Johnson, it's not garbage time, I'll tell you that. He's trying to make an impression. And
so far, so good.
Absolutely.
Switches Chris Curry over to his right. Looks that way and comes back the other way and completes it to Kirkland. And Kirkland takes a couple of Auburn Tigers with him out to the 38-yard lines. We check in with New York. Adam Zucker.
All right, Ness, here's a turnaround for you. Matt Corral, 6 interceptions against Arkansas 2 weeks ago. Today, he's tied Eli Manning's record for 6 touchdowns in a game at Ole Miss. Major recipient Elijah Moore has already set the school's receiving yards record of the game.
Well, it's one thing or the other with those guys right now, huh? Ole Miss, Johnson, run out of bounds. Good gain, though. Got 6:40 remaining. Three times over a 5-game span, and the first time since 1948. Not good. We talked about LSU leading the SEC in sacks. Sometimes you live by the sack, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But man, giving up that many points in this many games in a 5-game span isn't good.
I don't think they ever really got a handle. They just seemed off balance the whole game. Yeah. You got to give credit to play calling for that. You know, smart use of the quarterback. Bo had him off balance, but they never were able to zero in on the quarterback in the pocket.
Well, if you didn't see the first half, a fumble return for a touchdown and a play that was almost pick 6 ended up being a touchdown.
Yeah, the drive at the end of the half, that's the one, the 99-yard drive.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, you give the, 2 turnovers, but you're still in the game. You kick it down to the 1-yard line. That might be the drive of the season for Auburn, staying in this football game, because from there on, they gained their confidence. They were a different offensive team.
There's the guy that I'm sure LSU fans are hoping. They maybe wanted to see TJ Finley so badly, and then he played well last week in his debut, and then it kind of fell apart today. And now I think there's a bunch of LSU fans going, I hope Miles gets healthy. Meanwhile, Max Johnson throwing deep. That's the guy he hooked up with on the touchdown, and he almost got him again, overshot him. But the offense for Auburn today.
Now watch the movement. This is what Chad did a good job of taking that eye candy, they call it, to that defense. Keep them off balance. No matter what they did, that movement opened up runs like this, and the movement sometimes opened up for the movement.
And Schwartz had a big day, including the 91-yard touchdown reception. That's going to be his best day, by the way. We haven't made maybe enough of that because it was one big play, but Anthony Schwartz, a guy with great speed. They've thrown so many short screens and passes to him behind the line of scrimmage. Today he's got 4 catches for 123 yards and a touchdown, and he is a speed machine. So I know Auburn fans are happy that they got him out in some space today.
And what it does to every other coordinator is you got to know where he is in every formation. He can do that to you in just a blink of an eye.
Johnson, that one skipped off the hands of Booty, and it's 4th down in the yard. 5 minutes left.
Auburn has substituted most of the players up front, their front 7 completely. Most of their secondary, if there's a starter in there, it's only because they don't have anybody else.
Yep. Well, this might be the last time LSU's offense has their hands on it if they don't pick up a first down. 4th and a yard. Actually, almost 2. Low snap. Johnson on a slant. He got it. Completes. First down.
Yeah, good job by Max that time.
Corey Moore on the receiving end of that one.
The low snap and a quick throw was a good job.
First down.
So first down at the 40. In trouble, rolls, throws back. It was tipped, and that was caught.
Did it get through?
Yeah, it did.
You talk about throwing across your body that time. Rolling to your right for a left-hander. He turns his shoulders, and look at that. Tipped and through.
Riley got a hand on it, but it still somehow knuckled its way for a 12-yard pickup. Plenty Plenty of time to scan the field, running out of time and throw it away. Bring up second down and 10. Auburn, their schedule, the teams they picked up were South Carolina and Tennessee. So they're open next week before heading to Starkville.
Those last two, especially with A&M still in the hunt, you know, if A&M wins it out here, they'll be in the talk for that last spot.
And Johnson waited too long that time, and T.D. Moultrie gets to him.
So T.D. had that one roughing the passer, and this time he comes around the corner sharply on Cameron Wire.
Got a hand on the helmet, but he wrapped him up.
Wired the quarterback there, didn't he?
Yeah. Third down and 17. Johnson over the middle of Curry. And Curry gets it to the 25. It'll bring up fourth down at about 6 or 7. Obviously, LSU goes for it here.
Man across the board. Everybody's got somebody here. 6 men at the line of scrimmage. They all come.
Johnson trying to spin his way through and can't. And it's Marquise Burks with a sack.
Well, if you look from upstairs, you saw that Auburn defense, all 5 defensive backs with the empty backfield were playing man-to-man coverage. 5 yards off, that means 6 guys are rushing. Got to get rid of the ball. You only got 5 blockers up there.
One too many, including 92. And Auburn takes over on downs with just under 3 to go.
So Auburn has rushed for plus 200 yards in 3 straight games. They need 2 yards to make it 4 straight.
And as for Tank Bigsby, his string of 3 straight 100-yard games will stop at 3 at 71 on 15 carries today. But he also had two more touchdowns on the ground.
And he's healthy, and he gets to play the next game.
Yep. Mark Anthony Richards in there right now.
Wow. Largest in history.
Goes back a long ways. It's the
history.
History goes back a long ways.
A long way.
Almost to the beginning of time.
That's history.
That's right.
That's a long time.
Second down and 3. Well, it's going to be a happy Halloween in Auburn, Alabama tonight. For those inclined to eat their candy and have a social distancing type of gathering of some sort.
Richards on the carry.
Anthony Richards short of the first down by a yard.
Third down 1.
This is going to be the 11th win in the last 12 home games for Auburn.
Gus said, let the clock run down. They're going to try to make 1 yard, and I'm sure they'll take the knee. Make 1 yard for a first down, and they can knee out the rest of the game.
Grant Loy on the give, and there's the first down for Mark Anthony Richards.
Anthony Richards picks up the first down.
Big win for Gus Malzahn and Auburn. Needed it and got it.
He said his team was ready when we talked to him, and they were very focused. They played a really good football game. Great game plan, and they executed it perfectly. I give it to that Auburn defense. The secondary was ready to play.
On the other side, you saw Ed Orgeron, and he said to us yesterday, his quote exactly was, "Come on, man, we scored 40 points a game. We should be 4-0. Can't say that today."
That's true.
They scored 11, and one of those touchdowns and 2-point conversions was when it really didn't matter. So I don't know where you regroup for LSU. You hope the week off is manna from heaven or something, because they're going to be 2-3 coming off a national championship season. Lost all those players to the NFL. The Heisman Trophy winner took over with a different quarterback who looked good until he got hurt. Freshman quarterback looked good last week, but not today. And Auburn goes to 5-2. The treats go to the Auburn Tigers. The tricks, not so much to LSU. About as thorough as things can get here on the plains of Auburn at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Bo Nix, the winning quarterbacks with Jamie.
Bo, was that game as in control from the beginning to you as it looked like to the rest of us?
Yes, ma'am. I think it took us a few drives to kind of get going. And, we had 2 big turnovers, and that kind of got us going and started. And then when we went up 21, they were right before halftime. We just started rolling, and then we came out in the second half and did the same thing.
How comfortable do you get when you get to come back here to Jordan-Hare and feel the emotion? I know it's tough with less people, but you get to succeed at home once again.
Yeah, I love this place. I love playing here. This is games why you come to Auburn, right here to play LSU on CBS, and we came out and played really good.
How good did it feel to open that one up to Anthony Schwartz there at the 91 yards?
You know, it felt great. We don't really normally have plays like that, so especially from the 10-yard line going out, they weren't expecting it. We got a good live rep at it, and we've been practicing it all week, and we were ready for it.
What do you get to go dress up as now for Halloween, now that you're the winning quarterback today?
I think I'm just going to be Bo Nix for tonight.
Okay, I think that'll work. I bet other people will be dressed up like you.
Maybe so.
Okay, go find them.
Thank you. Y'all have a great one.
Thanks.
I was going to say there'll be a whole bunch of people pretending they're Bo Nix wearing a number 10 jersey tonight.
I think if
Auburn.
he went out as Bo Nix, he'd get a lot of treats for that.
Don't even go there.
Yeah, he'd get the candy.
Now it's time for the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. And here's a look. Defensively for Auburn, they get the quarterback Finley in trouble. And then Christian Tutt on the scoop and the score. And the touchdown defensively for Auburn that helped lead the way. This is how Andy Burcham called it on the Auburn Radio Network.
Man goes in motion. Finley with time throws. He goes down. Ball is loose. Ball is loose. Picked up by the Tigers. Down to the 5. It's a touchdown. Christian Tutt. Christian Tutt. On the scoop and score. Touchdown Auburn.
And of course, Christian is going out for trick-or-treating as King Tutt tonight. So Auburn, easy winner. Game ball in Bo Nix's hands where it belongs after a 48-11 hammering of the Tigers from Baton Rouge. That's going to wrap it up for us. Hope you have a happy and safe Halloween. For Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl, Brad Nessler saying so long from Auburn. Final score, 48-11. College football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage will be up after these messages. From the loveliest village of the Plains, Auburn, Alabama, we bid you good night. Big game for the Auburn Tigers in the win.